I'm Cammie McCormick. President Trump speaks to the press in about an hour about the war in Iran, but we got a preview when he opened the annual Easter egg roll at the White House.
What about the rescue that took place yesterday? What about that?
He spoke as word came of a possible deal to bring about a ceasefire.
You don't mind when the enemy is weak, but that enemy is strong. Not so strong like they were about a month ago. I can tell you, in fact, right now they're not too strong at all, in my opinion, but we're soon going to find out, aren't we?
Here's Stacey Lynn at the White House.
A peace proposal by mediators in Pakistan includes a 45-day ceasefire and the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. A White House official confirms Washington has received it and says this is one of many ideas, but President Trump has not signed off on it.
Trump did call the proposal a very significant step. Who will replace Attorney General Pam Bondi? Tori and Small reports it may be her temporary fill-in.
Todd Blanche, obviously, with strong ties to the president. He was his personal attorney before the president was reelected. He has a lot of confidence from folks within Trump's circle and orbit, but it's unclear if he would be the front runner to permanently replace her. There's a laundry list of names under consideration.
In just a few hours, Artemis 2 will be looping around the moon. CBS's Mark Strassman has more on their mission to record what they see and pave the way for future travel to the lunar surface.
Paul Reichert is the mission's photography instructor.
And they're going to take a lot of pictures of the moon, probably over 10,000 in the 3 hours that they're going around it.
10,000?
10,000. You want to start at the side that the moon is disappearing first, because if you don't get that side, you're going to miss it because you're going to travel past it.
The crew will capture areas of the moon never glimpsed before by human eyes.
Jim Ursula reports some kids made a gruesome discovery during an Easter egg hunt.
Police in Long Beach, California are investigating after a family discovered possible human remains during an Easter egg hunt near a city park. Aerial footage showed several brightly colored eggs on a path near what looked to be a partially excavated skull in the ground.
Savannah Guthrie returned to the Today Show anchor desk for the first time since her mother's disappearance more than 2 months ago. She said it's good to be home, but it's hard to go forward, not knowing what happened to her mother. On Wall Street, investors are watching developments in the Iran war. Stocks are higher. The Dow Jones Industrial's up 102 points. Gas prices are averaging about $4.12 a gallon nationwide. This is CBS News.
Join Adriana Diaz and Kelly O'Grady for the perfect start to your weekend. Ease into your Saturday with CBS Saturday Morning on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Seattle women's hockey continues to break records. We're going to tell you all about that in just a moment. But first, your KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. And we're looking pretty good across the board. Federal Way to Seattle is about your slowest travel time at 32 minutes, which is a little bit more appropriate to a Monday commute. But as Sully has been saying all morning, it is spring break for most districts, so we're expecting to see lighter commute times this week. Linwood to Seattle, just 24 minutes versus the hour it can be this time of the morning on a Monday. Renton to Bellevue on the east side on 405, 24 minutes, 32 minutes Linwood to Bellevue. I am seeing some pressure on 509. Doesn't look like a crash or anything there, but we'll watch that. And there is a collision backing you up, part of the backup on 405, just right in Coal Creek. It looks like it's only taking up one lane. This report is brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. Seattle's fishing fleet is feeling the pinch as fuel prices continue to rise. KIRO News Radio's John Repp reports local captains have to make crucial purchasing choices.
They're preparing to head out from Fisherman's Terminal in search of halibut and black cod, but everyone is talking about the cost of doing business with stratospheric diesel prices. Garrett Gunderson is captain of the Sunward.
Now it's 20 grand to leave the dock, with fuel, bait, and ice and groceries.
And Gunderson says they've already been operating on razor-thin margins over the years.
We're one of 5 longliners left in the Deep Sea Fishermen's Union that have survived.
John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
Food banks that help feed pets are seeing surging demand amid layoffs and skyrocketing cost of living. The Seattle Times reports that the Seattle Animal Shelter served more than 1,200 clients last year, a sharp increase from the year before. Seattle Humane says its program now helps more than 23,000 people annually. At the same time, Human Food Banks reports surging demand. Visits and deliveries are up more than 80% in the past 4 years. Seattle Torrent made hockey history again by selling out Madison Square Garden for their game against the New York Sirens.
Maybe it's going to start growing more and more, and it's going to inspire more girls.
How cool is that?
Really cool.
Fitting for the night, trailblazing tennis star Billie Jean King was there to drop the puck. And the Mariners lost in 11 innings last night. That puts them near the bottom of the American League West. They play again tonight in Texas. Now let's check your forecast. And mostly cloudy today, but a high of 69. Gorgeous day tomorrow. Morning clouds. Afternoon sun. It's going to be sunnier tomorrow, but it's chillier at 56 degrees. And just a gorgeous week with highs nearing the high 60s by Friday again. It's 47 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Ooh-wee. It is Monday on the Gee and Ursula Show. I will warn you, everybody, it is my birthday week, so just whether the sun is out or not, hey, it's going to be sunny all week.
And
Good morning,
choosing joy.
Choosing joy.
Yes, we are.
What's happening?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, coming up, sports betting is booming. And this is another one of those things where, gee, you can say you saw it coming. Because there are all sorts of warning signs. And coming up at 9:30, are we prepared to deal with a growing problem of gambling addictions? So we'll dive into that. The Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
All right, let's get to it. Ursula's top stories of the day brought to you by Pendergast Law.
It was a volatile weekend in the Middle East, and it began with a stark warning from the president. In case you didn't see it, on Easter morning, President Trump posted a message threatening to strike Iran's power plants and bridges if the Strait of Hormuz isn't reopened by tomorrow. Now, the language he used is not something that we can say on the air, but it was profane, and it raised the stakes instantly. And all of this comes, of course, as fighting intensifies. A U.S. rescue mission unfolded deep inside Iran, and there are fears growing about what is going to happen next. So as we have done in the past to help us with these military issues and the topic of war, joining us now on the Gee and Ursula Show is retired 4-star General Barry McCaffrey. Good morning, General.
Good to be with you.
So let's start with that Easter message. How significant is it that the president is now publicly threatening to hit Iran's power plants and bridges, among other things?
Well, I would argue that message on Easter Day was so unhinged, so blasphemous, so insulting potentially to Islam, that it indicates to me that we're in great peril. The President of the United States is a civilian. The Secretary of Defense is a civilian. Those are the only two people that can give legal orders to the armed forces. Not the chairman of the JCS or the Uniformed Chiefs of Services. And we've got a problem. He has lost the horizon. He's unstable. He's angry. He's desperate, I think. He doesn't know a way out of the dilemma he's in. He's run this incredibly successful sea-air campaign, but strategically he's in a box. And he's unstable in the extreme.
Well, explain that when you say generally he's in a box, because again, he's saying if it's not reopened by tomorrow, this would happen. If this were to happen, as he states in that message on Easter, are these potentially war crimes?
Well, They may or may not. That's a debate for the law of warfare. The likelihood is if you can connect it to a military purpose, then it wouldn't be a war crime. If it was clearly targeting the civilian population, as the Russians are doing in Ukraine, then it would be. But I think we need to back off and say, why did he start this war? He articulated, we got to get the Iranian nuclear program under control and stop them from developing a weapon to use against their neighbors or against us. Well, this is a legitimate goal. He's not going to get that if he walks away from this war he started in Iran. He's got the Strait of Hormuz blocked, gigantic economic problem for the global community to include the United States. He wanted regime change. He didn't get it. We killed 100 some odd senior political and military leaders at the start of the war, but they've been replaced by other hardline forces. So you have to really back off and say, where is he going to go with this? There's no way out. Using air power alone, you cannot open the Strait of Hormuz. You can't end the nuclear program. He's stuck. He doesn't know what to do.
The president right now, General, keeps talking about how soon this will be over. That's what his thing is. From your expertise, are we, the United States, are we closer to the end, or are we really at the beginning of something bigger?
I think Trump is bluffing. I don't think we're going to stay in this very long. It's politically devastating to his standing in the polls. Midterm elections are coming up. It's hitting us economically. He's ended our relationship with almost all of our allies, to include the Gulf Coast states and the Europeans. So I think he's got to throw in the towel at some point. I hope and by the way, the Iranians are desperate also. There's no question about it. Their economy was in a trash can before this war started. They can't deliver water reliably to their urban centers. So they should want a way out. But the trouble is we're dealing with the IRGC, this 190,000-man terrorist group whose primary purpose is to control the Iranian people. They killed 30,000 or more citizens in the uprising a few weeks ago. They're still firmly in charge. So we could hope in the coming short period that both sides will say we got to get a ceasefire at a minimum.
You listen to the voice of retired four-star General Barry McCaffrey here on the Gee and Ursula Show. And General, you just said that, that the bluffing and the potential of maybe wanting to get out of this. Let's just say that there is an exit for Trump. What would be the best case scenario of that exit, and what would it look like for everyone involved if the president wants to take an exit off of being done with this?
Well, I don't think there's a good outcome coming from this war now or in the future. At the end of the day, Iran will remain an implacable enemy of Israel and the United States. There's also the great Shia-Sunni Muslim divide, where the Persians, the Iranians, are Shiite, and much of the Middle East are Sunni Muslim. That's not going to go away. And I don't think we're going to get the Iranian nuclear program under control. The only way you can do that is with inspectors on the ground. That means the Iranians have to sign some kind of an agreement and let people from the AEIA into Iran again with robust rules of inspection. So I think this is really a broken play. Several thousand Iranians have been killed. This is a huge deployment of the U.S. Armed Forces, perhaps 60,000 people. And Trump, by the way, is on the verge of trying to use ground combat power to open the Gulf. I don't think we can do that. The Marines and the brigade of the 82nd Airborne that are there would be happy to try and take all three of those islands down near the mouth of the straits. But that's not going to stop the Iranians from interdicting with cruise and ballistic missiles slow-moving tankers in the Persian Gulf. So Trump got himself into a real box on this one, and us with it, I might add.
This is retired four-star General Barry McCaffrey here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Now, the president is going to be holding a news conference at 10 o'clock our time. We are expecting to take at least part of that live. There is reportedly a peace proposal by mediators in Pakistan that it does include a 45-day ceasefire and the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. Have you heard much about that?
Yeah, and it's a positive step, and it's an attempt not just on the part of the Pakistanis who are taking the lead, but also Turkey and Egypt in particular. Trump would be well advised to take some aspect of this proposal or all of it. Again, the U.S. Armed Forces have the capacity to carry out all sorts of continuing operations with precision munitions. But that's not going to achieve his strategic aim, which presumably was end the nuclear program, take away their ability with ballistic missiles to threaten the Middle East, and a regime change. So he's stuck. I hope he takes this way out.
General, we did see a high-risk U.S. rescue mission inside Iran, and it was successful, thankfully. What does that tell you about how close U.S. forces are to the direct conflict right now?
Well, it was a magnificent operation, no question about it. The combination of CIA, JSOC, the Tier 1 commandos, Army Delta Force, the Army Aviation Regiment that supports special missions. It was expensive. But again, it raises the point of the political nature of this war. In Vietnam, we lost 3,700 plus fixed-wing aircraft and 4,000 helicopters. But in this case, one pilot missing, which thankfully we recovered him, would have turned into a huge political hostage. So again, the support for the war in the country isn't there, and it's going to get worse. Trump's got to break out of this. By the way, the thing that bothers me is he's unhinged. That tweet message he sent out, if that had been some lieutenant colonel in the Pentagon, we would have literally walked him out of the building and sent him over to Walter Reed. I don't know what's going on with poor Mr. Trump, but it's a real unsettling condition we're in.
General, in 2015, I believe it was, President Barack Obama had a deal in place with Iran. And then in 2018, it was then President Trump pulled us out of that deal with Iran. Then last year in 2025, there was everything happening, and they, according to them, eliminated all of the capacity for nuclear capabilities for Iran. General, can you help me better understand, the timeline and everything and why they pulled out of that deal with Iran in the first place and now where we are today?
Well, there's a serious debate about the validity of the deal that President Obama signed. Okay. It was the best deal we could get for sure, and it prevented a war probably for coming 10 years. At some point, Iran was going to go nuclear successfully under that deal. And it did eliminate a lot of the economic constraints on them. We did fly in literally plane loads of $100 bills. Mm-hmm. Now, having said that, there's almost no alternative to war that isn't better than going in with military power and trying to solve this problem. That's just simply not going to happen. So Trump, there's no longer a national security process where wise women and men with experience in government debate the consequences of various options. What we've got is poor Mr. Trump, policy by whim, decisions by dictate, and it's not going very well for him. There's something gone badly wrong with Mr. Trump. He's surrounded by sycophants. His cabinet officers, in many cases, are the worst people imaginable in our society. I mean, the Secretary of Defense, Hegseth, is volatile, chaotic situation. He's fired 20-some-odd senior officers with great experience. This is a bad crew we got in office now.
General, what is one thing that you're concerned with over the next 7 days? Is there any move or anything that's happening that you are the most concerned about?
Well, I think, look, there's a tactical problem. Trump put another 10,000 combat troops into the Middle East. That's not a lot, by the way. If we wanted to take down Iran, we'd do it with 250,000 troops. We could do that. Very bad idea. But I think there's a lot of discussion about grabbing Kark Island and how that will put us economically with a chokehold on the Iranians. If we go after Kark Island, 400 miles from the Strait of Hormuz, we'll be on the verge of suffering a military disaster. Those Marines have got to go up there in giant amphibious ships and come across the beach. The 82nd Airborne's going to parachute into a gas station 15 miles off the coast of Iran. So I think he's toying with that idea. It's a bad idea. Even worse idea would be telling the armed forces, go seize the fissile material in Iran. There's around 1,000 pounds of highly enriched uranium, bomb grade within a week. There's another 5 tons or so of other fissile material. If we went in to seize it, most of them are at Natanz and Esfahan. It's far back from the coast. My guess would be you'd put a division minus 10,000 troops on the ground. You'd be there for days with engineering units trying to recover this. The only reliable way to stop the program, again, is arms control, inspectors on the ground, and force the Iranians with reward and punishment to pledging not to go nuclear.
General, with the last couple minutes that we have right now, what would be, it's bleak. What you've described is bleak. What's already happened is there's been loss. But what would be the best case scenario moving forward? If you could say this would be the one thing, the best thing that we could do right now, what would that be?
A ceasefire. Every time you stop shooting, things will get better. You're never going to solve this problem with military power at the end of the day. It's highly unlikely that the Iranian people in the short run can rise up and pull out of office these murderous brutes that are running around. But if we could get a ceasefire and time to get the U.S. and Iran to consider talking through the options, that could go on for 10 years and it would be better than continuing combat operations.
Thank you, General. We really appreciate your time. Look forward to talking to you again, sir.
Yeah, good to be with you.
Thank you. That was 4-star retired General Barry McCaffrey here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Hey, coming up next, we got to really talk about a very serious topic. And you all know how I am with analogies. Imagine buying your loved one a brand new car and allowing them to drive before they're even able to get a license. Now, we'll explain that analogy and what that means to sports gambling next. Gee and Ursula.
Congratulations to KIRO News Radio's Charlie Harger and digital content producer Patrick Janasek, nominated for a Northwest Emmy Award for investigative reporting.
It began with a question from the community. It seemed almost too stunning to be true.
KIRO News Radio is honored to be the only radio station nominated for the prestigious Emmy Award as part of our commitment to impactful storytelling across every platform, reaching into the communities we serve on KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Hi, Sarah here with Safeway. We're proud to partner with Champions of Change co-founder Doug Baldwin to help nourish Washington students through the Nourishing Champions program.
Thanks, Sarah. And here's the reality. Every day, students across our state are staying after school for extracurriculars on empty stomachs, and some of them don't know where their next meal will come from. Food insecurity is reaching crisis levels, and the impact on our youth will extend far beyond this moment. The good news is that there's an answer in the federally funded after-school meals programs. But right now, Washington schools' participation is very low, reaching only 2% of the students who qualify.
That's where Nourishing Champions comes in. We're offering grants that not only fund food, but also resource and training support for the schools to offer an after-school meal program for years to come.
Our goal is to reach 10,000 more students in the first year of these grants and then grow from there. School staff can learn more and apply today at championsofchangefoundation.org and navigating to the Nourishing Champions tab. That's championsofchangefoundation.org and click on the Nourishing Champions tab.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. April showers bring May who am I kidding? We live in Western Washington. The only thing April showers bring are clogged and overflowing gutters, which can damage your home from your roof to your foundation. Hey, this is Jake Skorheim, and my friends at Valentine Roofing are ready to come to your rescue. Right now, you can bundle and save 10% off your entire job when you add new gutters to any new roofing project. Plus, Valentine also offers gutter guards to help keep leaves and needles out for good, giving you an additional layer of defense against clogged and overflowing gutters. Having Valentine out at my house and seeing their professionalism and attention to detail, it's no surprise Valentine Roofing was awarded the 2025 Gold for Best Roofing Company and Silver for Best Gutter Company by the Seattle Times Best in the Pacific Northwest Awards. You deserve the best too, so schedule your free roofing and gutter estimate today to bundle and save 10%. Just call 206 Roofing. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Washington Lottery gives out a lot of green. The winners in schools and retailers are serene. Washington Lottery, Washington Lottery.
Visit wallottery.com. Who benefits to learn more?
Xfinity Tech Support, Matthew speaking.
Hi, I live in a pretty remote place, like Jurassic Park remote. No!
Wow.
Will Xfinity Mobile work out here?
Yep, the combination of reliable Wi-Fi and 5G makes it so that you can stay connected in all kinds of places. Plus, you get access to ultra-fast speeds and coverage, whether you're poolside or out live streaming with a T-Rex.
Hold still, you're about to go viral.
Welcome to a new era of Wi-Fi boosted mobile. Cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines of unlimited. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Watch Jurassic Park with Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings comparison based on promotional rate for 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus 2 lines of T-Mobile Experience More, Verizon Unlimited Plus, and AT&T Starter as of February 10th, 2026. Taxes, fees, extra.
How
was your break?
It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code THRIVE25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code THRIVE25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's THRIVE25.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Jillian Raftery. At the annual Easter egg roll at the White House, President Donald Trump had more questions about Iran than the holiday, detailing part of the risky rescue operation over the weekend. CBS's Stacey Lynn reports.
From the Blue Room balcony with the First Lady and Easter Bunny by his side.
What about the rescue that took place yesterday? What about that?
The president said it's something you rarely see.
In most instances, you're really not able to go in because you'll go in with 200 people and lots of jet fighters and helicopters, and you really don't have a chance. They get shot down.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News, the White House.
And the president will have an address. We're expecting it at 10 a.m. Pacific time. We will carry it live. He has given Iran until tomorrow to open the Strait of Hormuz to oil tanker traffic. Meanwhile, those oil prices continue to rise, though they have slowed in their increases. The average price of a gallon of diesel broke records in Washington yesterday at $6.80, but it's down a penny now to $6.79, according to AAA. A young gray whale found swimming up the Willapa River has died. 2 others washed ashore in Grays Harbor County. That's concerning for Cascadia Research Collective scientist John Kalambakidis, who says the local food supply is one factor here.
These gray whales that come into Puget Sound are searching for a place to feed, and you can see that their numbers have grown. In the 90s, when we first discovered them,
all 3 whales showed signs of malnutrition. NASA's Artemis 2 crew will circle the moon this afternoon. Joe Rao, associate astronomer at New York's Hayden Planetarium, says they are going to be taking thousands of pictures.
The spacecraft is expected to be as close as 4,070 miles from the lunar surface, and during that time frame, we will be hoping that they'll get some great photographs, great video of areas of the moon that they really have not been able to see, even during the Apollo program.
The astronauts aboard the Orion capsule will fly farther than any human has before. Now we're going to check your traffic. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. And if you're headed north into Seattle, you got some pesky delays. On northbound I-5 just south of 405, the right lane is closed for expansion joint repair. Expect delays in that area, and I am seeing it be pretty slow through that area, which is pretty unexpected, but after that you're smooth sailing until you get to just south of the West Seattle Bridge, and then slowing starts getting into downtown. Federal Way to Seattle is now 28 minutes. Linwood to Seattle, get this, is just 16 minutes. The lake bridges are clear. 405's doing all right. You got a few snags through the S curves. Renton to Bellevue 17 minutes. Linwood to Bellevue 29 minutes. This report brought to you by KIRO News Radio. And we are going to be partly cloudy for today, but warm at 69 degrees. A beautiful week ahead of us with mild temperatures and mostly sunny. The next chance for rain is Saturday. It's 52 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Monday to all of you. Hey, coming up at 9:47, Gee is going to share what happened on Friday after Sophia mentioned one word, and all of a sudden, Gee signed up for something.
It sure did.
And I'm also going to share what I did over the weekend because I took light rail over to Bellevue.
Right.
And I am going to tell you whether it is worth the $6.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is. But and what I observed while on there. So we'll talk about that coming up at 9:47. But right now, we need to talk about something that we've talked about on the show before. And Gee, you predicted this was going to happen.
Yep.
But there is a new report out from the Seattle Times that shows that even though we have some of the strictest gambling laws in the country, our state is seeing a sharp increase in gambling addiction, and the system simply cannot keep up with it. So now you know that legally you can only bet on sports at tribal casinos here. So theoretically, no phone apps, no couch betting. But that actually has not slowed things down because people are finding workarounds. And they're finding offshore sites, so-called prediction markets, and a lot of these people are very young. A lot of young men are getting involved in this. They're jumping in. And the warning signs are getting a lot louder because calls to the state's gambling helpline have nearly doubled in the past decade, from about 6,000 to more than 10,000 a year. An estimated 90,000 Washingtonians are now at risk for problem gambling, but very few people, according to this Times report, are actually getting the help.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Well, first of all, I would argue that a lot of people feel a lot of shame about if they start getting underwater and it gets deeper and deeper and they're chasing their losses, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of shame involved with that. But the other thing is, out of the more than 20,000 licensed mental health professionals in Washington, only 40 are trained to treat gambling addiction. Mm-hmm. And even with more state money involved, the number of people actually getting treatment has dropped because costs is up. It's expensive to get that kind of treatment, and there's not a lot of access.
In fairness, this is something, since you and I have been doing the show, I've been talking about this, but I want to just say this. It wasn't like I just knew something magically in my mind. I looked at this, and I still look at this the same way I looked at the garbage war on drugs, which it was never a war on drugs. It was a war on people. Because if it was a war on drugs, then we would have so many clinics and so many ways to get help today. What do I mean by that? I'm glad you made that mention about only 40 in the state being able, licensed and trained for the gambling addiction. I'll ask anybody right now, where can you right now go and place a sports bet? Some of you can use Kalshi right on your phone, right? Some of you can, you know where the casino to go to. All right, so here's my next question. Right now, tell me, without looking at Google, without looking at ChatGPT or AI, tell me where the gambling clinic is in the state of Washington.
You're not.
So let me get this straight. It's easier for you to go make a bet than it is to go get help. It's the same thing when we built all these casinos. We built way too many casinos, but we didn't build any clinics. So what I'm saying is all of the MLBs, the NFLs, the NBAs, the major big dogs, they care about money. They don't care about the people. Because if they cared about people, they would insure. So for an example, Ursula, I'm all over the place with analogies, but if you go to a restaurant, in order to build a restaurant, there's code, right? Mm-hmm. Meaning you have to have X amount of bathrooms in your business.
Parking spots.
Yes. like really cool. Mm-hmm. But when you build a casino that allows sports betting, there is no rule that there needs to be a clinic nearby. Mm-hmm. But then somebody says, but gee, hold up. There's a phone number. There's a phone number.
Yeah, they put the phone numbers at the ATMs. Yeah. They put the phone numbers, as if, hey, if you recognize that you have a problem, you can call this number. But here, let me take your money first.
Okay. So I'm glad you guys brought up the phone number. How do you call a phone number? With your phone. The same device that you use to gamble. Mm-hmm. Like this is going to get, this is just the beginning. It's going to get way worse. And in 5 to 10 years, we're going to be talking about an epidemic, and we're going to be talking about how, oh my goodness, how come we need more help, we need more clinics, we need more this, and we need more that. It's the same thing that we did with drugs. We're screaming we need clinics and help. We don't even have any clinics. I asked a question. Nobody can tell me right now where is a facility for you to go get help. So if there's a young man or a young lady right now that's struggling, where do they go?
Brian from Arlington says there are Gamblers Anonymous groups, and that is true. So, I mean, you can get help. You can get phone help. But that said, the emphasis has always been on, hey, this is tax money coming in for the state. Even the state lottery. I mean, there are people who are addicted to buying the lotto tickets. That generates a lot of money.
At least you have to go to the store and the gas station to do it. Right now, this is what Attorney General Nick Brown is about to fight. I don't want you to be able to gamble on your phone. And some people say, it's like, gee, it's a free country. At what time do we protect people from themselves?
The reality is, and remember I was asking the other day, I said, do you think we have a nationwide gambling problem?
Yes.
I think we do.
Yes. And this is just the beginning, though, Ursula. This is the beginning because we have another generation that's coming, right? The kids that are in high school right now, this is going to be all they know. Like, at least there's some people that are older right now. You have some type of context to be able to be like, hey, you know what? I remember a time that I used to have to go to Las Vegas or Atlantic City to gamble. And then, of course, they allowed sports betting. I can go to the casinos. There's going to be some young kids that are just, Ursula, as soon as they come out of high school, boom, right there.
E.J. Burien is suggesting, why don't you have an expert from the Washington State Healthcare Authority problem gambling program? I don't know if that's an actual program, but someone to talk about problem gaming, I think that's a fantastic idea. Because I think these figures that the Seattle Times says are what we know right now. I think there are many who are hiding it really well because gambling addiction often goes unnoticed longer than even substance abuse addiction.
I agree with that. This is what I know. I know that since you and I have been doing the show, I know that I personally know people, right, that were not gambling, sports gambling, the way that they are now. Years ago. They weren't doing it now. Now it is it's so easy to hear someone. I mean, Nick, how many times you hear your friends say, hey, man, I got something on this parlay?
All the time. They go on the Robinhood app, the Kalshi, even though it's technically not betting. They kind of disguise it as like the prediction market, but it's the same thing. You're betting on future, outcomes with your money. It's gambling. And there's so much advertising and marketing for these apps and the casinos and all that. Imagine if they still had that many advertisements for cigarettes and smoking.
I mean, hey, Ursula, one more for you.
We're gonna work on getting the gaming.
I like that idea. Thank you, EJ. Imagine this. Imagine if every marijuana store in the state of Washington offered you an opportunity to come smoke for free for a day.
And a $20 credit at the store?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
All right. Hey, coming up next, Ursula's going to tell about her journey. She got on the light rail that goes from Seattle to Bellevue and all that stuff. You did that. And then I'm going to talk about my new gym that I just joined. That's probably a little bit more boring, but we'll do that next. Gee Ursula.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO News Radio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app.
Hey, what a surprise. We got tons of rain here in the Northwest in the late winter into the spring. It all adds up. Now's the time of the year when the ground becomes completely saturated with water, and that can cause real problems in your crawl space. It's Mike Salk here, and groundwater intrusion in crawl spaces, it's pretty common, but it's got to be addressed before it causes structural damage or even worse, toxic mold in your home. You don't want any part of that. That's why if you're worried about any groundwater in your crawl space, you call Crawl Pros and you get a free corner-to-corner inspection. They'll climb into that crawl space, see what the condition is. They will go where you don't want to, definitely where I didn't want to. They came to my house and handled all this stuff. If they find water, they'll install a groundwater drainage system and a sump pump and reroute that water outside your home's footprint where it belongs. Don't take the risk. Do what I did. Have Crawl Pros come out for that free corner-to-corner inspection. They'll even check your attic at the same time. If you're worried that anything is going on with your crawl space or attic, call Crawl Pros or visit crawlpros.com.
Some people out there love to do things entirely on their own. Others ask for help and trust their resources. When involved in an auto accident, you've got the choice of dealing with insurance on your own or hiring an attorney. I'm joined in studio by Harold D. Carr. He represents Harold Carr Law Offices. Harold, what's one of the main reasons for seeking representation?
If you were to look at statistics, most people end up with a lot less recovery when they don't have a law firm representing them.
And why should they hire Harold Carr Law Offices?
We're not shy about bringing lawsuits. We do try to settle, and insurance companies know that. They know that we're fair in how we talk to them. The answer is really, we are very professional. But we've had cases, big and small, where we've had to take it into litigation, and about 98% of those will settle in mediation. A lot more than the client originally expected.
Visit carlaw.com. That's carlaw.com. 2 R's in car. Car accident? Call Carr.
Ever wonder how much energy it takes to power your life? Streaming shows, running appliances, even using AI to plan your next trip?
A lot, and it's growing fast.
So we need more energy, and it has to be clean and reliable.
Exactly. That's why Energy Northwest is exploring new ways to keep power flowing sustainably to meet the rising demand.
All this new technology is exciting, but we need the energy to keep up.
And Energy Northwest is making it happen.
Where do I learn more?
Energy-Northwest.com.
Energy Northwest, powering our clean energy future.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with 0 investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Step inside and let the excitement take you places. This is Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the ultimate spot for action that reaches incredible heights, luxury that knows no bounds, and live entertainment that always thrills. It's all at one incredible destination. So when you look for the best, look nowhere else. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the biggest and best in the Northwest. Muckleshoot.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
It is the Gee Ursula Show. Happy Monday to you. Just to let you know what's going on. Coming up at 10 o'clock, yes, we will take the president. Donald Trump will take him live as he will make an address to the nation. So make sure you tune in for that, recip, you get your coffee and water and all that kind of good stuff. That will happen at 10 o'clock. The president will be speaking. But as of right now, we need to talk about it all happened on last Friday. Last Friday, somehow, we're talking about Flex Fridays, I think.
Yes,
maybe
we were talking about getting in shape.
Talking about getting in shape and all that stuff.
Sophia mentioned Equinox, which I'd never even heard of.
She brought it up, and I told Sophia, I said, hey, Sophia, I would love to go to Equinox, but they only have them in California. They don't have them here. And to which Sophia's like, I think they have them in downtown Seattle. And some of you listeners text in, and lo and behold, they have one right there in the Rainier Square building right there. And right after the show, that's all I was focused on. You guys are reading the text messages and all that. I was just focused on, I'm heading right there. On Friday, I went to go sign up at Equinox. And
is that an early birthday present for you?
There you go. Early birthday present.
Spendy? Because when I hear downtown Seattle gym, I think expensive.
Ta-ta.
Ta-ta.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so did that, and then today, this morning was my first time. And what was the best about it is it's only 6 minutes away from here, number one. 2, I can shower right there. And so by the time our production meeting happens, I'm already showered up, clean, ready for Sophia to call me at 7:01.
Okay, what makes it special? Other than the ta-ta. What makes it, why was it a must-do? Like, that was the fastest decision for you. You went,
okay,
you bought.
I'll tell you. I don't even like to use the restroom at certain gyms. It's rough. You notice for the last, I don't know, couple years, I shower here, right? Here at work, by the way, amazing showers here, right? But I can shower there now. And so I'll just take that alone was that. And then they had all the stuff, the Q-tips and lotions and all that kind of stuff.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That was enough to get you?
I mean, yeah. It don't take much for me. It don't take much for me. Now, everybody's done with my gym stuff. I want to know, you got on the light rail.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Okay, so Mark and I decided that, hey, did we have the most fantastic weekend weather-wise? I mean, it was gorgeous. And so I wanted to check out light rail over to the east side because, hey, we talked about just from Mercer Island, 10 minutes to downtown Seattle, 10 minutes to downtown Bellevue. So I wanted to see from my spot in northeast Seattle. So I take the Ravenna light rail.
Okay.
So that's our stop right there in the Ravenna neighborhood. And so we went from there to Bell Square.
Okay.
I will tell you that I don't know if it was just because it was the first, couple of weeks of it. It was packed. And I thought, it was clean. It was very well utilized.
Yeah.
You're stopping a lot. So by the end of where we had to get out, I was like, okay, I don't know that I would do this every time, but it is so convenient. I got out at the Bellevue Transit Center, which, by the way, it is markedly different once you get to Bellevue. Once you get to Mercer Island and Bellevue stops, I mean, security all over the place, extremely clean. The grittier stops are in this on the Seattle side, and then once you get to the east side, I'll tell you that it was a very pronounced presence of security, and we were able to walk from the stop at Bellevue Square. We stopped and ate teriyaki just real nearby, and then we walked to Bellevue Square, and it was just like 3 or 4 blocks. It was fantastic.
Really?
Highly recommend. The trip itself, gorgeous views. Where are you going to get that kind of view? Now, I would be worried about taking that. Mark and I were saying, this is great because it's a sunny day. Now, what would it be like being over Lake Washington on a stormy day?
Right.
That might be a little hairier, but I loved it. I would highly recommend it. $6. We did pay, by the way.
I gotta go join. I mean, I gotta go check it out.
Yes.
I would love to go and see it. I know I saw someone making fun well, they weren't making fun, but it was a resident from Mercer Island. I saw it on Instagram, and they were saying that, remember, Mercer Island didn't want that because that would bring crime and all that kind of stuff.
Spot.
And so they took video of their whole experience and what it looked like in Mercer Island. And man, I haven't been there. You said it was a nice spot.
Yes.
Woo, did it look good?
Yes. It's a gorgeous spot. But I highly recommend it. It's too expensive to build. And, this doesn't take away from our complaints about, why does every single part of the project have to be over budget, so expensive, et cetera, et cetera. But light rail itself, I love it.
I'm curious how long the ride was from...
Mark and I were kind of cracking up because it's supposed to be 10 minutes from Bellevue to Mercer Island, but we didn't. So I would say it was about 30 minutes from my place. But that's not bad.
No, that's great. Yeah.
They want to ease into it. They don't want to go too fast to start, It might be 10 minutes eventually.
No, I mean, from my place, no way. I mean, we're talking
maybe
about
not
from
from
Northeast
your
Seattle.
place, no.
But from Bellevue to Mercer Island, that was about 10 minutes.
Every time you said, Bellevue, like Seattle to the east side, if you just would have just said a deluxe apartment, sky high, this is on my mind. Just growing up as a kid. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. Deluxe apartment on the east side. All right, coming up next, the president, will be going live right here. We will take that live. He will address the nation. Thank you for listening to the Gee Ursula Show.
Congratulations to KIRO News Radio's Charlie Harger and digital content producer Patrick Janasek, nominated for a Northwest Emmy Award for investigative reporting.
It began with a question from the community. It seemed almost too stunning to be true.
KIRO News Radio is honored to be the only radio station nominated for the prestigious Emmy Award as part of our commitment to impactful storytelling across every platform, reaching into the communities we serve. On KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
I'm Carolyn Osorio, the host of the Shadow Girls podcast, a deep dive into the Green River Killer investigation and the only known survivor.
He got both hands on my neck. I couldn't do nothing.
Rebecca did do something. It was her tip that proved pivotal in the arrest and conviction of Gary Ridgway. Join us on April 9th for a true crime event, the behind-the-scenes story of how an imperfect witness finally got her reward. Tickets available right now at nwcave.org.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Seattle without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Seattle for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text INVEST to 64,000. Seattle is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in Seattle and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text INVEST to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text INVEST to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text INVEST to 64,000.
Don't wait. Insulate. Last year, American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $2 million in insulation rebates from PSE, more than any provider in the state. If your home was built before 1990, you're eligible for recouping up to 95% of insulation replacement costs. Insulate with American Crawl Space and keep your home warm during the winter and cool during the summer.
American Crawl, the heroes you call. Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Listen, every day across Washington, kids stay after school giving their all for sports and activities, many on empty stomachs. That's a problem. Food insecurity in our state is at crisis levels, and it's hurting learning and performance. Safeway and Champions of Change Foundation are stepping up with Nourishing Champions, providing grants to schools for after-school meal programs.
Schools don't wait. Applications close April 8th. That's April 8th. Go to championsofchangefoundation.org and click Nourishing Champions.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Compassion, communication, results. That's Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com. That's pendergastlaw.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
Tammy McCormick, President Trump is to speak to the press any minute now from the White House briefing room. Earlier, he was asked about the war with Iran and a possible ceasefire deal for mediators.
The people that we're negotiating with now on behalf of Iran are much more reasonable. You can call it what you want, but I call it regime change, and I think most people are giving us credit for that. The first regime was taken out. The second regime was taken out. Now the third group of people that we're dealing with is not as radicalized, and we think they're actually much smarter.
Trump said the U.S. is studying the ceasefire proposal, which he called a significant step. CBS's Aaron Navarro.
The timing of this is notable, seeming that it comes after that dramatic rescue of fighter jet pilots in Iran. Definitely a win for President Trump and avoiding catastrophe there. And the tone from the president makes it different. His threats explicitly to target civilian infrastructure is notable.
Artemis 2 is preparing to loop around the moon, take lots of photos, and relay lots of information to Earth. Space consultant Bill Harwood.
The part about going behind the moon and being out of contact, that always strikes all of us as, interesting, and there seems to be some ominous hint of danger about that, but really it's not. Isaac Newton is guiding this spacecraft. It's simple physics. They're going to come out from behind the moon pretty much no matter what happens.
The Supreme Court has cleared the way for the dismissal of the contempt of Congress conviction of Steve Bannon. The court sent the case back to a district court where the Justice Department has asked for the case against the former White House advisor to be thrown out. Georgia's 14th congressional district will hold a special runoff election Tuesday to succeed Marjorie Taylor Greene. Republican Clay Fuller is favored to defeat Democrat Sean Harris. CBS's political director Finn Gomez with more on the race.
Fuller goes in as the heavy favorite, and it really comes down to the math. Look, this is the most Republican-leaning congressional district in Georgia. That's by the Cook Political Report. Fuller has Trump's endorsement.
Correspondent Jim Krasula reports a top morning TV anchor was back on the job today.
Savannah Guthrie was back at NBC's Today Show anchor desk for the first time since her mother's disappearance more than 2 months ago.
Good morning. Welcome to Today on this Monday morning. We are so glad you started your week with us, and it is good to be home.
Yes, it is good to have you back at home.
Guthrie has said it's hard to go forward, not knowing what happened to her 84-year-old mother, Nancy, since she was reported missing from her Arizona home February 1st. Jim Krasula, CBS News.
Authorities haven't released any new evidence in weeks. This is CBS News.
Go to the ends of the earth, half a world away. Reach for the stars.
If I take time to think, they might go get Brad.
On CBS, Sunday morning.
We're minutes away from a live press conference with the president, and we will go live as soon as he is live, but bear with us. We're going to do KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. And do not go on the express lanes I-5 North right now in downtown Seattle. It looks like we have at least one issue, possible 2 disabled vehicles within about a mile of each other at John Street and Mercer Street, and that's causing bumper-to-bumper traffic through downtown. And there's also slowing back behind that to the West Seattle Bridge, just because of your average issues from the construction closure. Federal Way to Seattle is now 37 minutes. That has ticked up from a half hour ago. And I-5 northbound, there is some expansion joint repair happening around South Center, just south of 405, and that slowing is a few miles. It's not bumper to bumper, but it's not super great. Linwood to Seattle, just 15 minutes in contrast. Linwood to Bellevue on 405, 19 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, 17 minutes. And this report is brought to you by KIRO Newsradio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. Sky-high diesel prices are a growing headache for Seattle's commercial fishing fleet, just as the halibut and black cod fishing season get underway. Brian Dafford captains the Polaris, a commercial longline fishing vessel. He says the cost of fuel eats into profits for him and his crew.
If it's a whole lot of work and it's not a lot of money, then, maybe it's not worth it. But usually it kind of comes down to how many guys can I have afford work for me?
Other fishing boat captains are hopeful they can ride this out and that prices will stabilize soon. Investigators have now found at least 20 bodies of some sort of dog washed up on beaches in Skagit County.
It's a creepy mystery out here.
The fire department initially got the call to retrieve one body back on March 26th from Guaymas Island. Since then, the sheriff's office tells KIRO 7 TV more and more have been found. They don't know yet how they died or where they came from. Firefighters rescued 2 people from their roof trapped by smoke and flames coming from their kitchen this morning. This happened in the Puyallup area. Crews were able to keep the fire to the kitchen. A third person was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. More than 18,000 screaming fans packed Madison Square Garden in New York to see the Seattle Torrent take on the New York Sirens over the weekend. The Torrent lost, but not before setting an all-time women's hockey attendance record for the second time this season. And tennis legend Billie Jean King was there to drop the puck.
My dream has always been to help women's sports grow, because I come from a time when nobody cared about women in sports. It was horrible. And so when I see this, and I'm so happy I'm still alive to see it, you have no idea.
The Torrent sent 4 players to the Olympics earlier this year, including Captain Hillary Knight. They play again tomorrow in Montreal. Now we're going to get your forecast. Beautiful day, partly cloudy, high of 69, gorgeous all week until Saturday. It's 58 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Grateful that you all hang out with us on a nice little Monday morning. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning. We do have a very packed show for you. We are standing by for President Trump's news conference. And at 10:30, we are going to lighten things up a lot. Hey, you had a question, and in case anyone missed it, the Mariners were robbed over the weekend.
3 times.
Oh, my gosh, from the same guy. The same player. But you had a question about whether it was a home run or not.
Yeah, well, I don't know, it's been a while, but I've always, one of those robberies that happen, one of them, I've always disagreed with that. And I can tell you about what that was. And I'm not just saying it because it's the Mariners.
Okay, so we'll get into that and more. We'll also talk about sleep maxing, which is a trend. So we'll talk about that and more coming up at 10:30. As always, we invite you to join us on the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
What's new at 10?
And we are standing by for President Trump's news conference on the war with Iran. This, of course, comes just days after he said the war could end shortly, but the timeline is still unclear as it enters its 6th week. And one major issue right now is the Strait of Hormuz, which is a key oil route that Iran has shut down, and that has helped push U.S. gas prices to around $4 a gallon. It's also had a dramatic impact on the rest of the world. This press conference also comes after that big U.S. rescue mission inside Iran, where 2 American airmen were recovered after their fighter jet was shot down. One was rescued quickly, Gee, but I'm sure you were following over the weekend, too. The second spent days hiding behind enemy lines before being pulled out successfully.
Incredible rescue, by the way.
Yes. Okay, so he is starting right now. We will join the president.
Well, it's a great honor to be with you, and happy Easter. We had a great Easter. This is one of our better Easters, I think, in a lot of different ways. I can say militarily, it's been one of the best. So, good afternoon. We have quite a bit to discuss. We'll go into pretty good detail. And we have the people that are most involved. We'll give you exactitude. And we're here today to celebrate the success of one of the largest, most complex, most harrowing combat searches. I guess you would call it a search and rescue mission ever attempted by the military. Generally, when planes are knocked down in war, especially when you're fighting a strong group, an evil group, you can't really do this because you send in 200 men to pick up one, and it's something that's usually not attempted as much as you want to attempt. And bad things happen to that 1 or 2. And in this case, we did 2, and it might not have been attempted before, but we did. And we had great talent. We got a little luck, too, I would say. And we were helped by a lot of people, a lot of great people. And it was an honor to be involved with it. It's very historic. This is a rescue that's very historic. It'll go down in the books. Late Thursday night, an American F-15 fighter jet went down deep inside enemy territory in Iran while participating in Operation Epic Fury, where we're doing unbelievably well, well at a level that nobody's ever seen before. The entire country can be taken out in one night, and that night might be tomorrow night. Both members of the crew ejected from the aircraft and landed alive. On Iranian soil, I immediately was asked to make a decision. I ordered the U.S. Armed Forces to do whatever was necessary to bring our brave warriors back home. A risky decision, because we could have ended up with 100 dead as opposed to 1 or 2. It's a hard decision to make. But in the United States military, we leave no American behind. We don't do it. Within hours, our armed forces deployed 21 military aircraft into hostile airspace, many flying at very low altitude, being shot by bullets. You bring rifles into play when you're going that low, but there are also certain advantages. And in broad daylight over Iran for 7 hours, at times facing very, very heavy enemy fire. We have a helicopter that's got a lot of bullets in it. It's amazing. We just realized how good those weapons are. Our machines are. Nobody has the equipment that we have, and nobody has the military that we have. Not even close. We're the most powerful military anywhere in the world by far. The flight crews and warfighters aboard those aircraft took extraordinary risks to rescue their fellow service members. This first wave of search and rescue forces successfully located the pilot of the F-15, and he was extracted from enemy territory by an HH-60 Jolly Green II helicopter. Fabulous machine as our warriors faced gunfire at very close range. It's amazing that when you look at the machinery, what happened, that nobody was even injured. Meanwhile, the second crew member, a weapons system officer, highly respected colonel, had landed a significant distance away from the pilot. When you're going at those speeds, even if you go out 2 or 3 seconds later, it's miles and miles away because you're going fast. He was injured quite badly and stranded in an area teeming with terrorists from the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps rough group, as well as besieged militia and local authorities. Many, on top of everything else, they told the communities actually within side of Iran, the people of Iran, they were given a tremendous incentive to find this pilot. Despite the peril, the officer followed his training and climbed into the treacherous mountain terrain and started climbing toward a higher altitude, something they were trained to do in order to evade capture. They want to always go as far away from the site of the shoot down. You want to go as far away because they all head right to that site. You want to be as far away as you can. And he was injured, and he was an amazing, amazing thing. He scaled cliff faces, bleeding rather profusely, treated his own wounds, and contacted American forces to transmit his location. They have a very sophisticated beeper-type apparatus that is on them at all times. And when they go out on these missions, they make sure they have lots of battery space and they're in good shape. And this one worked really well, amazingly, saved his life. We immediately mobilized a massive operation to retrieve him from the mountain holdout. And he kept going higher and higher. The mountain kept getting rougher and rougher and really very, very hard to find. The second rescue mission involved 155 aircraft, including 4 bombers, 64 fighters, 48 refueling tankers, 13 rescue aircraft, and more. We were bringing them all over, and a lot of it was subterfuge. We wanted to have them think he was in a different location because they had a vast military force out there. Thousands of people were looking. So we wanted them to look in different areas, so we were scattered it all over like we were right on top of them. We had 7 different locations where they thought, and they were very confused. They said, well, wait a minute, they've got groups here, they've got groups there. It's an amazing thing. I was listening to these great people, these great generals. General Raisin Kane was amazing, and Pete Hegseth was amazing. But I listened to the whole thing. It was pretty amazing. So they had all these different sites where everybody thought he was located. We think we have him over there because they have 9 planes circling a little area that's 25 miles down the coast. So in a breathtaking show of skill and precision, lethality and force, America's military descended on the area, the real area, engaged the enemy, rescued the stranded officer, destroyed all threats, and exited Iranian territory while taking no casualties of any kind. The heroic F-15 weapon system officer had evaded capture on the ground in Iran for almost 48 hours. That's a long time when you're in tough shape and when you're bleeding. It's a long time. When we left, as you probably know, we had 2 large planes, pretty old planes. He carried a lot. We needed a lot more equipment going in than coming out, obviously, because going in, we needed to be able to scale mountains, and we had a lot of equipment. But the sand was sandy, wet sand, so we thought there may be a problem taking off because of the weight of the plane, and then we also had all the men jumping back onto the planes, and they got pretty well bogged down, and we had a contingency plan, which was unbelievable, where lighter, faster aircraft came in, and they took them out. We blew up the old planes. We blew them up to smithereens because we had equipment on the planes that, frankly, we'd like to take, but I don't think it was worthwhile spending another 4 hours there taking it off. So we didn't want anybody to have. We have the best equipment anywhere in the world. We didn't want anybody examining our anti-aircraft and other equipment. So these were large planes that were old and pretty old, and we blew them up. And we had faster, lighter planes come in, and they were able to land on the sand. We needed the bigger planes because we had so much equipment that we needed. We took 3 helicopters over there, which were very strongly used and couldn't have lived without them. They did, and they performed unbelievably well. And if you'd see it, you wouldn't believe it. They came off the plane, and these guys had them. The rotors were off. They rebuilt these helicopters in less than 10 minutes. And that was one of the more amazing things. These are helicopters, small, unbelievably powerful, but small, very small, so it can get into certain areas. And they got them off the plane, and they rebuilt all three of them in a matter of less than 10 minutes. It's pretty amazing what the genius of these people. Who would think that? You'd think it would take 5 days to build them. And in some companies, it would take 5 days, and they wouldn't do it well. But they served us well. As Commander-in-Chief, I never forget the extraordinary risk taken by the warriors that we send into battle, and the genius. I mean, think of it, having a contingency of 3 planes waiting because we think the sand is so bad that we probably won't be able to take off. And the planes really got bogged. This was not much of a runway. This was a farm, not a runway. It's a farm, but it did the trick. But to have a contingency as opposed to having to wait 2 days, can you imagine, right in the middle? This was central. This was right, you would call it central casting if you were doing a movie for location. And probably the toughest area of Iran where we'd be sitting there. So these planes came in, those pilots came in so fast and so quick and got out of there. Everybody got aboard and just got 15-minute intervals. One load out, one load out. One load out the 3. It happened, and we were watching, and we said, "That's amazing." In many ways, I was almost more impressed by the contingency that we had than the fact that if we would have had a runway or decent soil. But it was an amazing thing. But we thank God for every single one of them, and the talent, the genius. It's not even talent; it's genius. It's the whole ball game. Every one of them. If you look at what we did with Maduro, we went into a military compound, a massive, with thousands and thousands of soldiers, and within a matter of minutes, and he lived behind iron doors. There were steel doors, broke them down so quickly, and within almost minutes, he was in the back of these planes. It was a similar group, incredible. We have incredibly talented people, and if the time comes, we move heaven and earth to bring them home safely. We're going to bring our people home safely. I want to thank every member of the U.S. Armed Forces involved in these historic operations. They really were historic. It's just not something that's done. And you'd understand it. Not that they don't want to do it, but when you're going into areas, when you look at these helicopters, when you look at the amount of bullets and everything else that they took, when you go into these areas, you don't come out like we came out. God was watching us. I tell you, well, it was the Easter, we were in the Easter territory, I guess, but God was watching us. Amazing. Because when you look at the machinery, they took damage. It tells you, first thing I said is, these are unbelievable machines, how they flew back and not even much of a problem. But these 2 extraordinary rescues, because it was 2, and as you probably know, we didn't talk about the first one for an hour. Then somebody leaked something, which we'll hopefully find that leaker. We're looking very hard to find that leaker. And talked about there's somebody missing. They basically said that we have one and there's somebody missing. Well, they didn't know there was somebody missing until this leaker gave the information. So whoever it was, we think we'll be able to find it out because we're going to go to the media company that released it, and we're going to say, national security, give it up or go to jail. And we know who, and you know who we're talking about, because some things you can't do. Because when they did that, all of a sudden, the entire country of Iran knew that there was a pilot that was somewhere on their land that was fighting for his life. And it also made it much more difficult for the pilots and for the people going in to search for him. All of a sudden, they know that there's somebody out there. They see all these planes coming in. It became a much more difficult operation because a leaker leaked that we have one, we've rescued one, but there's another one out there that we're trying to get. So actually, the country, Iran, put out a major notice, you all saw it, offering a very big award for anybody that captures the pilot. So in addition to a hostile, very talented, very good, very evil military, we had millions of people trying to get an award. So when you add that to it, but we have to find that leaker because that's a sick person. Probably didn't realize the extent of how bad it was. I can't imagine that the person did, but we're going to find out. It's national security, and the person that did the story will go to jail if he doesn't say, and that doesn't last long, and I think everybody would understand it. They put this mission at great risk. They put that man at great risk, and they put the hundreds of people that went in looking for him, because everyone now knows that we're going in. Over the past 37 days, America's armed forces have carried out more than 10,000 combat flights over Iran, unheard of, striking more than 13,000 targets. The F-15 we lost last week was the first manned aircraft downed by the enemy in this entire operation, with thousands and thousands of flights. They got lucky. It was a lucky hit. You know, eventually you get lucky. But we got lucky, too, because we got both of them back. But it's a record that is unparalleled in the history of military air operations. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. It's such an honor to be involved with it. We were up late at night, and then we were waiting for those contingent planes to come in, and we said, come on, let's go, get in, because they're waiting out on this farm without a runway, with wet, crummy soil, sand, mostly sand, wet sand, and it eats planes alive, and we're waiting, and we're saying, I hope that one can land and take off. And they came in like magic, boom, 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 one after another. It was like genius. I'm so impressed by that. Because we were a little concerned. We said, boy, if they don't get in and get up fast, we're sitting in them. And that's called Iran Prime, right, General? That's where the whole bet is. And here we are sitting there waiting for a plane. But they came in so fast and so hard, and these guys knew exactly what to do. Let's go, come on, get in, let's go. Pwah. They came one right after another, not at the same time. They don't want to come at the same time. They had to come right after each other. They didn't have any room. There was barely any room to land. Tiny little patch of very wet earth and sand. So I'm so proud of the people that I have standing up here with me, and many others that worked. I mean, so many. Steve Witkoff's over here. He's doing fantastically. Jared Kushner. But the people that are here, the job they did is amazing. And I think I'm going to introduce the head of the CIA, and he is a man he's central casting, okay? If we cast a movie, he's going to play the head of the CIA. He's one of the few. John Ratcliffe, he did a phenomenal job that night. He did something that I don't know if you want to talk about it. If you want, you can. I'm not sure he's supposed to. I'm not going to talk about it. But the CIA was very responsible for finding this little speck. It's like they used an expression on one of the shows. The general was talking about, it's like finding a needle in a haystack, finding this pilot. And the CIA was unbelievable. And you may, if you can, you'll talk. It might be classified, in which case I'd have to put him in jail if he talks about it. And I don't want to put him in jail. He doesn't deserve that. So, John, do you want to say a few words? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's a privilege to be here with you today to share what we can about this exceptional mission and to recognize the ingenuity and bravery of those who executed it, as well as the leadership and resolve of the president who ordered it. One thing that has been clear to me in this role is that the flawless military operations that the Department of War is known for are hostage to flawless intelligence. We saw that in the skies over Iran in Operation Midnight Hammer last summer. We witnessed it in Venezuela during Operation Absolute Resolve. We've seen it against the cartels in the Western Hemisphere, and we're seeing it every day in Operation Epic Fury, including this mission to rescue an aviator buried deep behind enemy lines. Because it is the unique tradition of the U.S. Armed Forces that we leave no man or woman behind, this was a no-fail mission. That was the spirit in which the president put us to work, and we were determined not to let him down or our airmen down. As an agency, the CIA possesses unique capabilities that only the president can deploy. Some of these capabilities fall under covert action authorities. And because covert means exactly that, I'm not going to be able to tell you everything that you want to know. At the President's direction, we deployed both human assets and exquisite technologies that no other intelligence service in the world possesses to a daunting challenge, comparable to hunting for a single grain of sand in the middle of a desert. This was also a race against the clock, as it was critical that we locate the downed aviator as quickly as possible, while at the same time keeping our enemies misdirected.
This is John Ratcliffe, CIA director, talking about the rescue mission in Iran over the weekend.
Deployed by the President to find our airman, CIA executed a deception campaign to confuse the Iranians who were desperately hunting for our airmen. On Saturday morning, we achieved our primary objective by finding and providing confirmation that one of America's best and bravest was alive and concealed in a mountain crevice, still invisible to the enemy, but not to the CIA. That confirmation was relayed by Secretary Hegseth to the President, and the operation quickly moved to the execution phase. Following the successful exfiltration on Saturday night, our intelligence reflects that the Iranians were embarrassed and ultimately humiliated by the success of this audacious rescue mission. When the President asked me to lead the CIA, he made it clear: get back to basics, no politics, no agendas, tackle the hardest problems, and execute the toughest missions. This President is about results, and now that's what his CIA is about too. The professionals at the agency and at the Department of War deserve immense credit for their flawless execution during this daring mission. Their skill, creativity, and courage are unmatched on the battlefield wherever they step. But none of that matters, and all of that is wasted without a president with the political courage to put them into action. Mr. President, I've had the privilege of seeing you act with political courage in the best interest of the United States up close on a daily basis, and I'm grateful that this successful mission has given the American people a window into that as well. The Secretary and Chairman will tell you that our service members' confidence is boosted by a Commander-in-Chief who has their back the same way they have yours. And I know that the confidence of CIA's officers is boosted by the knowledge that their work is informing a president who's not afraid to make the hardest decisions when the stakes are highest. And to the American people, your confidence should be boosted by knowing that the security of the nation is in the hands of a president who's willing to take on problems that have confounded both sides of the political aisle for nearly half a century. It is an honor to serve under a leader who just proved that you can believe him when he says, no matter what, we will leave no one behind. We will come for you. Thank you.
You are listening to a news conference with the President of the United States and the CIA Director, John Ratcliffe.
Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Americans, and especially the brave warriors in our armed forces, over this Easter weekend, the United States military has once again proved why we possess the greatest fighting force the world has ever known. In two extraordinary combat search and rescue operations deep inside enemy territory in Iran, our warriors executed missions of breathtaking skill, courage, and precision. When our warriors are unleashed, as this president has allowed them to be, they are unstoppable. When American airmen were down behind enemy lines, our forces and our president did not hesitate.
This is now Pete
Special
Hegseth.
operators supported by elite air crews and intelligence professionals moved swiftly and decisively into treacherous mountain terrain under the constant threat of Iranian forces closing in. Ultimately, it was an impotent Iranian threat. And today, as the CIA director mentioned, Iran's military, and we know this, is embarrassed and humiliated, and they should be. Now, these are not routine operations. They were high-risk, high-stakes missions conducted in the heart of enemy territory. This was not just barely into Iran. This was deep into Iran, involving coordinated strikes to suppress threats, deception tactics to protect our teams, and full synchronization across air, ground, and special operations. The Iranians are still asking themselves right now, how did the Americans do this? One downed airman evaded capture for more than a day, scaling rugged ridges while hunted by the enemy. When he was finally able to activate his emergency transponder, his first message was simple, and it was powerful. He sent a message, God is good. In that moment of isolation and danger, his faith and fighting spirit shone through. You see, shot down on a Friday, Good Friday, hidden in a cave, a crevice, all of Saturday, and rescued on Sunday. Flown out of Iran as the sun was rising on Easter Sunday. A pilot reborn, all home and accounted for, a nation rejoicing. God is good. Despite incoming fire and unforgiving conditions, our troops brought every American home. No American lives were lost. We leave no man behind, and that is not luck. It's the result of unmatched training, superior technology, an unbreakable warrior ethos, and sheer American grit. Our special operators, pilots, and support crews performed with near perfection under fire, and they were lethal. Just ask any Iranian soldier who dared attempt to get anywhere near that pilot before or during that mission. Death from above. Our troops turned a potential tragedy into a resounding demonstration of American resolve and capability. That's what excellence in uniform looks like. But make no mistake about it. None of this would have been possible without the courageous leadership and ironclad determination of President Donald J. Trump. From the moment our airmen went down, President Trump made it clear we will leave no one behind. The first mission, the first of two, was an audacious daylight thunder run right up the middle. It was authorized in less than 2 hours from that pilot going down when we knew where he was. And it was authorized in the middle of the night, because anybody that's worked for this man knows he's up in the middle of the night. Authorized immediately, without hesitation, audaciously. The second mission, as soon as we knew where that pilot was, and John was certainly helpful in that, also executed immediately. You know, I looked up at my screen when the final mission was complete inside our SCIF, our secure facility. And we have a running VTC, a running coordination cell. And the top of it read 45 minutes and 45 hours and 56 minutes. For 45 hours and 56 minutes, we held that call open for coordination. From the moment our pilots went down, our mission was unblinking. The call never dropped. The meeting never stopped. The planning never ceased. The president demanded rapid, decisive action. He backed our military with the full weight of his resolve, refusing to let enemy propaganda or tactical setbacks deter us. His leadership ensured that every lethal and non-lethal resource was brought to bear, that our forces had the authorities and the support they needed to succeed. When the president says he has the backs of our warfighters, he means it. And it means a great deal, and it's a big difference on the battlefield. President Trump understands that peace through strength is not a slogan. It is a doctrine that saves American lives. His unwavering commitment to rebuilding our military and restoring the warrior spirit has paid dividends in missions just like this one. Under his command, America projects power with confidence and brings our people home with victory. And that continues today, by the way. Per the president's direction, today will be the largest volume of strikes since day one of this operation. Tomorrow, even more than today. And then Iran has a choice. Choose wisely, because this president does not play around. You can ask Soleimani, you can ask Maduro, you can ask Khomeini. To those heroes who planned and executed these rescues, your nation stands in awe. I stand in awe. The chairman stands in awe. We all stand in awe of your professionalism and bravery. We serve for you. You embody the very best of America. To the rescued airmen and their families, welcome home. Your courage and endurance, the quiet declaration of faith amid the storm, inspires us all. God is good every day. And to our adversaries watching from Tehran, let this be a clear message. The United States military will go anywhere, at any time, to protect our own and complete the mission. We execute with precision. We control the skies. You see, we flew for 7 hours in daylight over Iran to get the first pilot. And we flew 7 hours in the middle of the night to get the second. And Iran did nothing about it. We fight with honor, and under President Trump's leadership, we win. So God bless our troops, God bless President Trump, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
So you have just listened for the last 35 minutes or so, President Trump, the CIA director, and then the Defense Department secretary, all talking about the rescue mission in Iran after a plane was shot down and 2 airmen had to be rescued. One took a little bit longer, but nothing short of heroic. It was a very involved, a lot of resources used. What were your takeaways from this news conference?
That I'm happy that they did go and complete this rescue, because there was a point in time, I think it was 2015, when Donald Trump was talking about John McCain, and he said, quote, I like people who weren't captured. So it seems now he has a change of heart when someone's getting captured. That's about it. I mean, great job on the rescue. I thought that was phenomenal. I said that before we talked about it, even before going into that press conference. It was phenomenal. It was well done. So thank you, military, for getting that done. Your thoughts?
I was surprised, but then again, not surprised at how much detail they gave regarding the rescue. And I understand, because it was an incredible feat, but 35 minutes essentially praising Trump and praising the military for that particular thing, when we're still waiting to hear about what is going on with Epic Fury. Yeah. The president over the weekend, yesterday morning, on Sunday morning, on Easter morning, had threatened essentially that tomorrow is going to be power plant day, bridge day, all wrapped up in one. And he basically said, open the effing straight and use some more expletives, or you'll be living in hell. Just watch. I'm waiting to hear what's the latest with that. Mm-hmm. Is there any sort of movement on a ceasefire?
Right. Well, Ursula, I know coming up next, we usually do scenarios. We'll make sure that we show love to let you know that we won't necessarily be doing scenarios. I say we call an audible here for that last part of this hour. There are a lot of people. You asked me my takeaway. You gave your takeaway. And there are a lot of folks that are texting in their takeaway.
Yes.
So how about we honor that and talk about people's takeaways? We'll do all that next.
Yes.
Gee and Ursula.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO Newsradio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app.
Hi, Sarah here with Safeway. We're proud to partner with Champions of Change co-founder Doug Baldwin to help nourish Washington students through the Nourishing Champions program.
Thanks, Sarah. And here's the reality. Every day, students across our state are staying after school for extracurriculars on empty stomachs, and some of them don't know where their next meal will come from. Food insecurity is reaching crisis levels, and the impact on our youth will extend far beyond this moment. The good news is that there's an answer in the federally funded after-school meals programs. But right now, Washington schools' participation is very low, reaching only 2% of the students who qualify.
That's where Nourishing Champions comes in. We're offering grants that not only fund food, but also resource and training support for the schools to offer an after-school meal program for years to come.
Our goal is to reach 10,000 more students in the first year of these grants and then grow from there. School staff can learn more and apply today at championsofchangefoundation.org and navigating to the Nourishing Champions tab. That's championsofchangefoundation.org and click on the Nourishing Champions tab.
How was your break?
It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code THRIVE25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code THRIVE25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's THRIVE25.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com. Or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Holy smokes!
The On Cruise Adventures Rick Riz Show.
What happened at the ballpark yesterday?
Sparky's sitting on my scorpic here, my cat.
Friday mornings at 8:15 on Seattle's Morning News.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net. This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. DayandNight.net.
Washington's lottery gives out a lot of green to winners in schools and retailers awesomely. Nearly 600 mil to people that play. Another 180 mil to vocational training and education from preschool to college. Now you got the knowledge, a win-win for all of us. Play Washington lottery, lottery, lottery. Play Washington lottery, lottery, yeah.
Visit walottery.com. Who benefits to learn more.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning to all of you. How's your day? Anything new? Appreciate you, all of you hanging, huh?
Unfortunately, I think we lost a few folks. A lot of people told us they were leaving.
At least about 2 or 3 left.
Yeah, I'm hoping. So welcome back if you're just coming back. We're doing things a little bit differently today because we've had a lot of breaking news.
Yep.
In case you missed it, we had President Trump and Pete Hegseth, the defense secretary, and the head of the CIA, all talking about the rescue of the airmen, and one in particular who was lost behind enemy territory, and all the great lengths to which our great military, and with the help of a lot of people, were able to get him back safely.
Right.
And that was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just shocked at the amount of time. I mean, there right now, Joint Chiefs Chairman General Dan Kane is also talking about the rescue.
Mm-hmm.
And for everyone who was complaining to us as to why we were taking it so long, we wanted to. It's the president speaking. We're in the middle of a war.
Mm-hmm.
And so we wanted to make sure that you heard, and we are expecting to hear details about what's expected tomorrow. I think Pete Hegseth and the president promising that if Iran doesn't do something to end this situation and open up the Strait of Hormuz, that there's going to be some serious bombing of power plants and bridges.
Mm-hmm.
But we heard so far nothing about that.
43 minutes. 43 minutes still on the same thing on the rescue. And again, I want to say, our armed forces and what they did rescuing that person, it's amazing. It's fantastic. And I'm going to throw it back to you, Ursula.
Well, we asked what your takeaways are, and keep texting them. If you're back, text them, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Andrew in the 925 says, it's nothing but a ridiculous and embarrassing heaping of praise and glory on the dear leader by Trump sycophants and lickspittles, reminiscent of North Korea, and chest thumping by the idiotic Pete Hegseth. The last several minutes has provided no information. Susan in Kent says, our military made this happen, and the colonels and generals planned the mission. The president didn't do anything except take credit for others taking the risks of war.
Yeah. Rick in Kent says a whole lot of praise for Donald Trump. You know, that really stood out, right? I mean, like you can tell, and you know, in fairness to Donald Trump on things that he is the most consistent about, if you don't praise him, then you're not going to keep your job. And you can tell listening to the CIA director, listening to the Secretary of Defense, or Secretary of War, they call it, listening to them speak, they made sure to praise him several times during their talk.
Yes. Kevin in Tacoma said, I'm sorry, folks, but this presser is extremely hard to listen to. I thought he was supposed to take questions. That perhaps is happening now, and we've got our newsroom monitoring that, and we will have an update. But again, I mean, this is a critical point. We're talking about, is there going to be a ceasefire? Pakistan was reportedly negotiating some kind of ceasefire. Is there going to be one? What's going to happen tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Is that just a threat and a lot of blustering, or is that for real? Because that could escalate it a whole bunch more.
Right, Ursula, I'm trying to do my best because I'm choosing joy. But I will say this: I think for me, the scariest part about that press conference and about a lot of this is to hear them speak to civilians that have as much power as the president of the United States and the Secretary of Defense, to hear them speak about what's going on right now, considering how very serious that this is. It's so serious right now that you are feeling it in your gas tank right now. You're feeling it. Groceries are getting ready to happen. Like, it's not like, oh, this might happen. These are happening. The way they talk about this, the way they articulate this topic, it's as if they have no clue what they're doing. Now, granted, I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that there is something where they, like, hey, we got this handled. It's going to be taken care of. United States, you guys don't have to worry. Please, I would love to be wrong, because if I'm not wrong, then we're going to be impacted even more by this.
Cliff in Woodinville, who is one of our conservative listeners who just about every day disagrees with us, says that was an amazing military feat and they deserve all the credit for a spectacular execution. I agree with that. But wow, they really laid the Trump love on thick during that press conference. Yikes. Mark in Nisqually says, why are we there? How many civilians are being killed and impacted? How much is this costing the taxpayers? All great questions, all questions that I believe should be answered. And hopefully we'll get a clearer picture on that. And the president is taking questions right now, but we're not able to listen to it at the moment.
It's crazy. I just remember when he dissed John McCain before. Like, I like people who were never captured. And now they've gone nearly 50 minutes on the rescue of someone that could have been captured. Hey, coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, we had a lot of stuff that Ursula did not get to. And Ursula, what topic
we want to talk about the Mariners, what happened with the Mariners.
Okay. Worst thing ever.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about the this sleep maxing. Sleep is a big topic for me. And then we're going to also talk about Seattle's K-shaped economy.
Okay. I like those topics. All right, we'll do all that next. Gee and Ursula.
Congratulations to KIRO News Radio's Charlie Harger and digital content producer Patrick Janasek, nominated for a Northwest Emmy Award for investigative reporting.
It began with a question from the community. It seemed almost too stunning to be true.
KIRO News Radio is honored to be the only radio station nominated for the prestigious Emmy Award as part of our commitment to impactful storytelling across every platform, reaching into the communities we serve on KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical,
there's no beating CM Heating.
Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Owie, wowie!
What's with the...
Water heater's worn out.
Way less hot water?
Takes a lot longer, too.
Sounds like a goner.
Worst of all...
What?
Wasn't planning on it.
We can help.
Apollo Plumbing.
Ready right now to get you...
in hot water.
Same day.
Not this day. My budget.
How about with easy payments?
How much easy?
Around $50 a month with approved credit.
A new water heater?
50 gallons of 100% hot water delight.
For about $50 a month.
51, 52 to be precise.
And you can do it
today, if that's what you need.
Is it ever?
Apollo installs new ones with code upgrades.
Can't beat that.
Actually, I can.
What?
Your same-day water heater replacement includes Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which means?
Apollo Plumbing covers your new water heater for life.
You mean should it ever wear out?
Apollo Plumbing replaces it free.
And if it needs service?
Service is included for our A-list members.
Wow! now.
Your new water heater is ready
Right now.
at ApolloPlumbing.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit Bucky's.com.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
Families across Western Washington voted Aegis Living Best Senior Living Community, and Seniorly ranked them #1 in America. See why. Schedule a tour today at aegisliving.com/KIRO and get a special take-home gift. Aegis Living. This must be the place.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Michael Toscano. President Trump is at the Pentagon talking about the successful search and rescue mission for the missing U.S. airmen.
I ordered the U.S. Armed Forces to do whatever was necessary to bring our brave warriors back home. A risky decision, because we could have ended up with 100 dead as opposed to 1 or 2. It's a hard decision to make.
Iran state media says Tehran has rejected the latest ceasefire proposal and instead wants a permanent end to the war. At his Pentagon briefing, President Trump repeated his threat to Iran. Open up the Strait of Hormuz or the entire country could be, quote, taken out.
We're doing unbelievably well, well at a level that nobody's ever seen before. The entire country could be taken out in one night, and that night might be tomorrow night.
CBS News has confirmed that Iranian General Soleimani's niece, Hamida Soleimani Afshar, is now being held in ICE detention at a South Texas detention facility. The Supreme Court has given a longtime ally of President Trump a legal win.
The justices have just thrown out a lower court's ruling that upheld Steve Bannon's conviction for defying a subpoena from the House committee investigating the January 6th riots at the Capitol building. That frees a trial judge to act on the Trump administration's bid to dismiss Bannon's conviction and indictment, quote, in the interests of justice. It would be a largely symbolic victory. Bannon served a 4-month prison term after his 2022 conviction for contempt of Congress. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
The Artemis 2 astronauts are expected to begin their flyby around the far side of the moon within the hour, seeing and photographing things no people have seen before. Joe Rao is an associate astronomer at New York's Hayden Planetarium. He explains.
We launched right on the day of full moon, and what that means is that the landscape is going to be illuminated on the far side differently than what it was like during the Apollo program. So now they're going to be able to see mountains, valleys, craters in full bright sunlight.
The NCAA women's basketball title is going west this year. UCLA dominated Sunday's championship game, beating South Carolina by 28 points. Bruins head coach Corey Close spoke with CBS Mornings.
We learned some hard lessons last year, and when we got to the Final Four, and we weren't ready. And I think it just inspired what will it take to, from the inside out, be ready a second time around.
It's UCLA's first national title since 1978, which was before the NCAA era. On Wall Street, mild gains across the boards as investors await any possible Iran and U.S. ceasefire. This is CBS News.
Every Sunday, moderator Margaret Brennan goes face-to-face with top leaders to make you better informed. Face the Nation, Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Fishing boat captains feeling the squeeze of the gas price issue. We're going to tell you about how that's going to affect your bottom line at the grocery store in just a minute. But first, KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. And most areas, it's not too bad. It looks like we cleared the issue on the I-5 northbound express lanes in downtown Seattle. We'd had not one but two disabled vehicles. And it looks like we might have another crash on northbound I-5. It's right before I-90. But it's not causing, awful problems just yet. There is some slowing back to about the West Seattle Bridge. Right now, Federal Way to Seattle is 34 minutes. So that's actually a 3-minute improvement from an hour ago. Linwood to Seattle, 19 minutes. Linwood to Bellevue on 405, 16 minutes. And we do have a little bit of a delay on the S-curves in Renton on 405 northbound, but that's not going to cost you more than about a couple of minutes. I do see a collision on I-5 right around Angle Lake, but that is not causing too much slowing behind it. It's actually at the beginning of some of the slowing where you get to 405 because there is the one lane closed because of expansion joint repair. So watch that there. This report brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. Seattle fishing boat captains are bracing for the worst as they calculate the rising price of diesel and what they need to catch to break even. KIRO News Radio's John Repp has that story.
This time of year at Fisherman's Terminal in Interbay, the typical conversation would be around halibut and black cod. The season just got underway and fishing vessels are on the move. Instead,
I'm always wondering what fuel prices are going to be.
Brian Dafforn is captain of the Polaris, a commercial long-line fishing vessel with a small crew. He's concerned about the price of dockside diesel, which currently runs more than $7 at Shilshole Bay Marina.
That basically means the way that we do our settlements, there's a lot less money to split amongst the crew.
John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
Investigators are still puzzled after finding more than 20 canines washed up on beaches in Skagit County. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Sun has the latest.
The Skagit County Sheriff's deputies say the animals were reported on Guemes Island on March 26th, and then another was found in La Conner on March 31st. They were all sent in for testing the next day. Since then, people found 8 more dead canines. While everyone waits for answers, rumors are spreading rapidly.
People are making assumptions, or they're just exaggerating. I heard that they found wolves and foxes and coyote. I heard there were witches involved.
On Friday, the forensic necropsy was complete, but lab and DNA results won't be ready for another 2 weeks or more.
A man is still on the run after escaping from Western State Hospital last week. Joshua Dillon Rice has multiple pending violent felonies and should be considered dangerous. We have a picture of him on mynorthwest.com. And the city of Orting calls it a brief embarrassing moment. A naked person appeared on the deputy mayor's blurred camera feed during a study session last week. The city says the background blur was not sufficient, but no one noticed the person at the time. The video is still posted, but it has been further blurred. Now your weather. We're going to be beautiful day, a little cloudy, warm at 68. Great weather for the rest of this week. It's 62 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Monday. I see the sun speaking. Woo-hoo, and it's speaking. It's out today. It's going to be a nice, beautiful day. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Gorgeous day.
Yes.
Are we going to hit 70 before you turn 50?
Wait, you didn't call it what I always like you to call it.
It's the Chamber of Commerce kind of day. It is. This weekend, this whole weekend.
Yeah.
Was fantastic. But I have a question for all of you. Because you had the answer this morning, and I'm not surprised you said it the way you did, but I always feel this pressure. So I want to know if anyone else feels this. When it's nice around here, I feel like I have to be outside or it's a day wasted. You don't feel that way.
I think a lot of people feel that way. My wife feels that way.
Yeah, it's like if I don't do something to take advantage of the beautiful sunny weather, I feel like, when's the next time I'm going to have that?
Right.
It's a good pressure, though, because it's healthy to be outside on days like this.
That is true.
You want to be outside on a day like today.
So you feel that way too?
Oh, yeah.
How much money it costs to be outside these days, though?
Oh, hey, you know what? If you're just walking around Green Lake, one of my first dates with Mark, that's cheap. That's free. Especially if you don't even have to go out for coffee afterward.
Is this like the perfect temperature right now, or are we favoring more like the 80-degree kind of temperature? Because this, for me, is perfect.
We've been talking about this for a long time, Nick.
80s for me. I'm an 80s gal.
I just want to hear Ursula say she likes it warmer.
Absolutely. Text us, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
Love to talk about things that maybe you haven't thought of. And have you ever heard of the term K-shaped economy?
Today, years old.
Because, okay, so I'm going to explain it, but think about it. If you are deciding to go out to dinner with your family, where are you going to go? Are you going to go someplace that is new and spendy? Are you going to go to a place like Ascend in Bellevue, where I just actually walked past there over the weekend and was reminded? Or are you going to go to a local restaurant around the corner where you're not going to have to spend a whole lot of money? Chances are neither, because according to new reporting, economists say Seattle is experiencing what can be described as a K-shaped economy. It's the idea that we can be sorted into high or low income groups, and that is because of the middle. Those in the middle, it goes away. So more and more businesses are created by and catered to the middle class are actually falling. And in Seattle specifically, that includes family-owned diners. So the idea would be that, yeah, there are some businesses that are doing super well. For example, probably the gym that you just joined, even though we weren't talking about numbers, but it's probably pretty spendy.
Right.
But again, Dollar General or dollar stores, those are also doing really well.
Right.
It's the middle ones that are not doing so well.
Sure. And in this article, they specifically talk about diners and how those the mom and pa type diners, the restaurants that we have known of before that have been lasting for 30, 40 years. Let's remind everyone, Eduardo Jordan was in here 3-4 months ago, and he literally talked about this happening, talking about the potential of Seattle looking like Detroit did back in the recession back in 2008. And what he meant by that is he's talking about the shutting down of doors of a lot of small businesses, a lot of restaurants that we have known and come to love. Look, it's interesting when we talk about restaurants. Like, if I were to ask you, Ursula, or anyone else, if I ask you, what is your favorite restaurant? If you had to go to a restaurant to go eat at, what is your favorite one? I can guarantee you, most of you, it is not the most expensive, right? It's not the Butcher's Table, Metropolitan Grill, Ascend. It's not El Gaucho's. It's some place where, like this past weekend, I went to the Garlic Crush over there in Bellevue, and I had some of their Mediterranean food. It was phenomenal. Or a lot of times, I'm down there pulling up down to maybe eating Korean food or something like that. My point is most of us love the food of the establishments that are struggling right now. We love that. And the ones that aren't struggling, the Ascends and the restaurants that are top tier financially, those places are fine because people that have money aren't hurt by what's going on.
Right.
And that's the thing. When they say the economy is doing well, who's the economy doing well for?
Mm-hmm. Well, in this article in Oregon Public Broadcasting actually pointed out middle market businesses like Eddie Bauer, Blazing Bagels, Wild Waves, all announcing closures or bankruptcies, while, for example, if you see some of the hoity-toity, a yachting group or, like you said, the Ascends, they're doing great, which to me, I still always think of the saying, small businesses are the backbone of the economy. And it's sad if you see more and more of those middle businesses really not making it.
I stay consistent on this very topic. And the reason why I'm saying that I stay consistent is because I know I get a bad rep for saying things, gee, you always want to give everyone money. Okay? So what happens when the vast majority of people don't have money? If they don't have money, they're not going to spend. If they're not spending, then businesses, like we're talking about, continue to close down. And the only businesses that stay around are the businesses that are very expensive. So now we have the majority, not the exception, not the people at the very top, the majority of people can't go out here and buy and pay for anything. So then we wonder why. Like, oh my goodness, my favorite place has been around for 30 years. I can't believe they're closing down. I can't believe this business is closing down. And then when you're hit with it yourself, now you're in a situation where you're like, hey, I used to be able to take the family out of 4 once a month. Can't no longer do that anymore because of everything going up.
I would love to hear people's experiences, but again, this is a report from Moody's that says the top 10% of earners now accounts for almost half of consumer spending in the U.S., which is a historic high. So again, the economy is so heavily dependent on the top income earners. But you know who else is doing really well? The TJ Maxxes of the world and the Rosses of the world. Mm-hmm. I mean, people are loving those bargains, and you see them doing really well too.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, let's move on, because another thing, something that keeps me up at night is my inability to sleep very well, although I've made a turnaround lately. But have you heard of this term, sleep maxing?
No.
So it's this latest obsession online. It's the idea that we are so fixated on all the ways that we can really try to get the most sleep every night. So do you have a tracker when it comes to how much sleep you get?
Nope.
Okay, so a lot of people
do. It's on my Apple Watch,
yes,
but I take my Apple Watch off the charge.
Okay. Or people, like I take melatonin probably more often than I should. Mm-hmm. Some people take magnesium. Some people are tracking whether they're in their REM cycles. And it's good to take care of your sleep. I would argue it's one of the most important things that you can do for good health. But the idea is, if you're paying too much attention to it, this is an article in Vogue, sometimes the obsession with negatively sleeping can turn into your worst sleep. You know, when you're like, oh, do you ever get those moments where you're in the middle of the night, you're saying, oh my God, it's already 2 a.m. and I haven't even had 10 minutes of sleep and I got to get up in 3 hours and I'm never going to. So you don't.
He doesn't have that.
You don't have any of that.
Because he's getting up basically at 2 a.m.
I know, Ursula, let me just put this on myself. When I eat bad and I'm eating terrible, I get terrible sleep. That's just for me. And if I can tell if I'm doing the right things, then I'm going to get the proper amount of sleep because I can feel it when I wake up. Right? You can feel whether or not you got into the REM sleep. And I do think it is pretty cool now that everybody's talking about, like, hey, it is very important to get that amount of sleep, because when you sleep, your body heals during that time. There's no better time that the body heals than when you're sleeping. So it's the doctor says, hey, get some rest and call me in a couple days. Mm-hmm. Sleep. You know what I mean? So, but Ursula, you've been getting better sleep these days, though.
I have, and as I said, I think my body reset when I was sick, and I had to just, other than going to the doctor, I just kept sleeping and sleeping and sleeping. Mm-hmm. Now, this morning, I don't want to get back into it, but last night I was able to fall asleep before midnight, and every time that happens, Paul in the 253 is laughing and saying, what keeps me up at night is my inability to sleep. Actually, it does. And people who have sleep disorders will tell you too. I mean, sometimes you will get obsessed with it, and then melatonin after a while, it doesn't work that well, and then you're like...
Is that one of those things where, I mean, I've never taken melatonin, so is it the more you take it, the more like your body adapts to it?
Yeah, I think you can. Then sometimes it takes more to get it to be effective. I have to be really mindful of when I drink a Diet Coke, because even just that amount of caffeine after 2 o'clock, it can be very problematic.
Well, here's another question for folks. Does anyone make it a point to not eat a couple hours before they go to bed? Like, how important is that?
I think that's a good idea. I mean, that's recommended. I mean, the single biggest thing I think that hurts people's sleep is the lack of sleep hygiene, which means having the TV on, having the phone on, having your computer screen on so close to when you're supposed to go to sleep. And I think that's one of the reasons why there are so many people who are keeping sleep doctors in business. Yeah. I cannot get in to a sleep doctor. I mean, I had to make my appointment months in advance.
Well, one thing I think that's interesting about this conversation is the shift in culture towards sleep. I think for so long there has been this focus on someone dug in Mount Vernus in America where people compete for getting the best night's sleep. But for a longest time, America was the place where people were like, oh, I only slept 4 hours last night. It's almost like a pride thing to say you aren't getting sleep. And so now there seems to be this cultural shift of people recognizing, yeah, I'm not sleeping. I'm not doing a great job at it. What can I do to sleep better? When for so long it was a competition of who could survive the longest without sleeping. Do you feel that shift?
I think more and more people are understanding that it's so imperative for good health.
Yes, there has been a shift. As a matter of fact, so much so that I have not seen in a long time, because usually, Sophia, this way ends up happening. There's a doctors that come out and they're like, hey, a glass of wine for you at nighttime is good for you. And so what happens is it's created this wine culture where folks go home every single night and have a few glasses of wine. Starts off at one glass of wine, and then before you know it, whoopsie, had a bottle of wine. And then you're like, oh, for some reason, my sleep is not struggling a little bit, but that wine is sitting on you. You know what I mean? Like, yes. No, like seriously, there's a real wine culture where people like go home every single night and have some wine.
Yeah. Well, now there's also a different culture that someone even just texted in and said, I take a certain thing that helps me have really deep sleeps. I have not resorted to that yet. I have considered it. I have not resorted to it.
Yeah, some folks be hitting them edibles up.
Yes, exactly. Okay, we need to talk about the Seattle Mariners because I watched just the part of the game where there were 3 almost home runs. They hit more home runs this weekend, but unfortunately they didn't count. Mm-hmm. So tell us about that.
Well, what's his first name? Last name is Adele.
Joe Adele.
Joe Adele.
The right fielder for the Angels.
Yeah, Joe Adele.
My gosh.
I mean, it was crazy. I mean, the first one is like, oh my goodness. But look, I think 2 of the 3 I believe were legit. Like, man, he grabbed the home run, no doubt. He didn't leave out of the ballpark. But one of those home runs, which and I'm curious to ask Nick his opinion on this. I have always, when I was younger, Ursula, and we would play in the backyard, and home run was over the fence. If you try to grab the ball then and over the fence, it was still a home run. I think in baseball, if you leave out off the field and you catch the ball on the other side of the fence, I still think it should be a home run. But
is there an actual official rule on that, though?
No, it's a home run.
Okay,
it is.
It is.
I mean, no, it's an out.
It's
an out, yeah. But the fact that this happened to the Mariners, it did one of a few things to me. Number one, it brought back, I don't know if you're a Mariner fan, it brought back memories. And when I mean by memories, it brought back, is this going to be a rough season? You know what I mean? Like Nick, when I saw that happen, I'm like, is this going to be that type of season? That's never happened before in the history of the game where one person does that.
Yeah, luckily they won Friday, but yeah, like when you think about Saturday and Sunday's game where they lose 1-0 on Saturday and get 3 home runs robbed, and then they score 7 runs yesterday, but they lose 8-7 in extra innings, you get that underlying, itching feeling like, is this like just bad luck for him this year? But at the same time, it has been only 10 games. This is equivalent to like the Seahawks losing week 1, so I'm still holding faith that it's early for them.
Yeah.
But man, on your point about the home runs getting robbed, I'm on the border about whether or not that's even allowed or not. If his feet were still on the turf or on the field, that could count. But where are we drawing the line where he could just climb out into the stands and catch the ball? I don't think that should be allowed.
And Ursula, I'm not just saying that because it's the Mariners.
Anytime.
I've really always felt this way. But right now, they're in last place in the American League West. Look, like Nick said, this is just early. Hey, let's wait till if they're still doing this in May, we'll see what's happening. But man, the bats finally heated up yesterday.
I was going to say glass half full. The bats did heat up.
They heated up and they still lost.
I will say though, with these 10 games having them struggle, it is early, sure, but it just puts more weight on this month for them to do well because they have less slack on their rope at this point. This month is important.
Before we move on, Ursula, I just want to ask: am I the only one that anytime if the Mariners lose or those three, like even when those 3 home runs got robbed, does anybody ever think about the Cal Randy situation?
Someone on a text line just did.
All the time. Yeah.
I can't stop thinking about it.
If they continue to struggle, it's going to keep getting brought up. That's for sure.
Is it so? Do you guys think this is no big deal? Ursula, tell me that the Cal Randy thing is no big deal. And that's just me just making this a big deal. It's no big deal, right?
I think there's something going on. I mean, it just doesn't feel like the same team from last year.
Well,
I can't say it's not a big deal because I think it kind of is a little bit of a big deal. I think it started a little bit of just this nonsense drama or pressure that is in the locker room already. They already have a lot of pressure meeting expectations with the fans, trying to get back to the playoffs, and this just adds another layer. And in sports, distractions is a bad combination with trying to win, especially in baseball and football.
Okay, Barry in the 253 says there are 152 games left. Calm down. Okay, I hope you're right, Barry.
Okay. Coming up next, agree to disagree. I'm trying to look at these topics, Ursula, and see something that's good in here.
They're good. Don't worry about it.
They're good? Okay.
Don't worry about it.
We'll see what Sophia has for us.
I'm
next,
picking something up.
Gee and Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
Congratulations to KIRO News Radio's Charlie Harger and digital content producer Patrick Janasek, nominated for a Northwest Emmy Award for investigative reporting.
It began with a question from the community. It seemed almost too stunning to be true.
KIRO News Radio is honored to be the only radio station nominated for the prestigious Emmy Award as part of our commitment to impactful storytelling across every platform, reaching into the communities we serve on KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Seattle without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Seattle for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text INVEST to 64,000. Seattle is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in Seattle and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text INVEST to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text INVEST to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text INVEST to 64,000.
Remember that time we were driving through France and for some reason we didn't have GPS?
Oh, for some reason? That reason would be that you didn't plug your phone in because you didn't have a charger.
Yeah, because I let you borrow my phone so you could call your mother, and you're on the phone for like 30 minutes telling her where we are. But that aside, we didn't know where we were going. We did fight a little bit because we didn't know where we were going. I think that Longevity Medical Clinic is like the GPS for us. They tell us which turns to make. They tell us which directions to go, right?
They do. And now I feel like the 2 of us together have a clear path and we have more control over our own health care.
Right, exactly. So you don't have to get out of the car and try to find information somewhere. It's all right there. As you're aging, all the little sort of turns you have to make in order to be able to have lots of energy and to enjoy your life. So for as far as I'm concerned, Longevity Medical Clinic is our GPS. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Hey, this is Jake Skorheim, and you know what they say, April showers bring May clogged and overflowing gutters. However, Valentine Roofing, they've got you covered. Right now, you can bundle and save 10% off your entire job when you add new gutters to any new roofing project. Plus, with flexible financing available and payments as low as $159 a month, Valentine makes it easy. Schedule your free roofing and gutter estimate today to bundle and save 10%. Just call 206 Roofing. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Listen, every day across Washington, kids stay after school giving their all for sports and activities, many on empty stomachs. That's a problem. Food insecurity in our state is at crisis levels, and it's hurting learning and performance. Safeway and Champions of Change Foundation are stepping up with Nourishing Champions, providing grants to schools for after-school meal programs. Schools don't wait. Applications close April 8th. That's April 8th. Go to championsofchangefoundation.org and click Nourishing Champions.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
You didn't work hard to watch your retirement unravel. You saved, you sacrificed, you built something meaningful for yourself and for your family. Hi, I'm elder law attorney Rajiv Nagaich. I've seen what happens when unexpected health events collide with traditional retirement plans. Savings that took decades to build drains away faster than anyone expected. At LifePoint Law, we help you build a life plan to help you protect your assets and way of life. If you are retired or thinking about retiring, now is the time to double-check your retirement plan.
Retirement doesn't have to feel like a gamble. With straightforward planning and clear answers, LifePoint Law replaces fear with clarity, but only if you start now. Attend the next seminar Tuesday, April 7th in Bremerton, the 9th in Olympia, or the 11th in Federal Way. Seats are limited. Sign up now at lifepointlaw.com. Visit lifepointlaw.com today.
I'm Carolyn Osorio, the host of the Shadow Girls podcast, a deep dive into the Green River Killer investigation and the only known survivor.
He got both hands on my neck. I couldn't do nothing.
Rebecca did do something. It was her tip that proved pivotal in the arrest and conviction of Gary Ridgway. Join us on April 9th for a true crime event, the behind-the-scenes story of how an imperfect witness finally got her reward. Tickets available right now at nwcave.org.
If you're hurt in a car accident, call Harold Car Law Offices right away. They'll save you time and get you more money from insurance while you're able to focus on recovering. Visit carlaw.com. 2 R's in car. Car accident? Call CAR.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Minutes ago, we learned that the Artemis mission became the humans to travel the farthest from Earth. They're looping around the moon this afternoon, taking thousands of pictures. And the tiny town of CQ has landed at the top of a new Airbnb off-the-grid destinations list. The company says their younger clientele is increasingly choosing rural spots to stay, so they're highlighting some of the company's favorites. And CQ certainly is rural. The fishing village is in Clallam County and has a population of just 24, and they have at least 4 Airbnbs there. The Seattle Torrent broke women's hockey attendance records for the second time this year.
We got women in space right now. We got women on the ice. We got women everywhere.
They sold out Madison Square Garden for their game against the New York Sirens. Tennis legend Billie Jean King came out to drop the puck. Now we're going to check your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, and we're looking fairly good across the board. Looks like we've cleared most of the collisions that happened, and we just got some slowing in and out of Seattle on I-5, but it's been about 25 minutes in both directions throughout the morning. You're going to cost you a few extra minutes to get through South Center on I-5. There is some expansion joint repair slowing you down just south of 405. And the Renton S-curves still look like they have some pressure, but I do see something blocking. It looks like there is a crash near Northeast Sunset Boulevard, and that's part of what is slowing you down there. This report brought to you by KIRO News Radio. We're going to have a beautiful day. High of 68 or 69 today and partly cloudy. Gorgeous week with your next chance for rain showing as Saturday morning with a high of 58 there. It's 62 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Monday to all of you. Hope you're enjoying the gorgeous weather we're having. Let's do Agree to Disagree, which is brought to you always by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
Okay, for Agree to Disagree this morning, let's go to the movies. This weekend, The Drama, starring Robert Pattinson and Zendaya, has had some moviegoers in a frenzy after some core philosophical questions were raised in the film. Now, I saw the movie this weekend. It blew my mind a little bit. I've just been reeling in all these questions.
Is it in the theaters?
It's in the theaters. Okay. I saw it in the which I don't go to the theaters that often, but my roommate was like, we need to see this film. I really want to see it. And I did not know a lot about what it was about.
What's it called?
The Drama.
The Drama.
The Drama. And I'm going to say this. It's marketed like it's a romance film. It's not a romance film, in my opinion, at all. It's more so a psychological thriller because of these questions that are raised in the film. Now, without ruining the plot, the gist of it is that it follows Charlie, played by Robert Pattinson, learning a dark secret about his fiancée, Emma, who is played by Zendaya, causing him to spiral just days before their wedding. And the thing is, the secret happened 15 years ago, and it was less of an action and more so the intention to do something bad. Now everyone online is asking, are there some things that are truly just unforgivable? My question for you guys is there a line between deciding someone is worthy of change or unforgivable for life? To you, is there something that a loved one could do that would make you look at them differently forever?
Yes.
Steal from me. There it is. Boom. Game over. You can't fix that.
Okay, if you found out that they stole from you, they were dealing with an addiction problem at that time, and they have since apologized and also
I'm too old to deal with addiction.
Addiction is everywhere.
No, I know that.
Yeah,
but you're asking me if she had some addiction problem. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, I say that because I remember my oldest brother in the throes of his addiction. He stole from members of our family to feed that addiction. Would I forgive him? Absolutely. So there would be a point where I would be like, okay, that's one where I can make an exception, because otherwise I understand. If you're talking about your potential partner.
But the thing is that you can still love them from a distance.
Yeah.
It's like some people just continue to, let's just say, you're feeding of addiction. They just continue to allow them to stay in the house.
Okay. Yeah. There absolutely would be. Well, if someone told me I tried to kill somebody or I wanted to kill somebody, I'd be like, That's a hard one.
So let's say that's something that might have been proposed, but it happened 15 years ago, and then you hear that, you know this person now, you know who they are now. Is that enough to make you pause and say, maybe this person isn't who I thought they were? I don't want them in my life anymore?
Did this just come up? When in the conversation and when in this relationship did this information come up? Right before the wedding?
So in the context of this film, and I don't want to spoil what it is, because it is pretty jarring, and it is kind of the core of the movie. It came up very sporadically. They were tasting wine before the wedding with some friends, and it kind of came up under the influence of some wine, you said it, and then
Yes.
they're like, wait, actually, let me unpack that. So a lot of people are now in their brain asking themselves, what line do I have?
Yeah, it would be very hard for me to overcome that thought that someone would have that violent of a thought or actually have the ability to carry out something that violent, that I don't know that I could overcome that. And it would be have to be information that would come on early on in a relationship.
Yeah.
How about you?
Oh, are you asking me about another one? Like what other?
Well, in the same context that Ursula was saying, if you heard it was like an intent of violence, they never acted on, but it was
Right.
something in the past, and they shared that with you.
No, how about this? It doesn't even have to be, intent of violence. I mean, I don't know. There has to be context to that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why did you try? But let's just say all of a sudden, right? Let's just say that my significant other has a change of heart and is okay with the awfulness that goes on in this country. Right? And you start being okay with demonizing a protected class.
Oh, no, that's a
game over.
Mm-hmm.
Game over. Now those folks really have no parts in my life.
All right.
Agree.
Okay. Well, interesting to hear your perspectives on it. I would love to hear your takes after you watch the film.
Now I might have to watch the film.
No, Sophia. Now, are you sure? Are you recommending that I go to the movies to see
I'm
this?
recommending it. It is kind of a trip. Like, it's A24, so just to preface, it has that A24 vibe where you walk out of it and you're like, what the heck did I just watch? What did you pump me through? But I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. I was so anxious. It was Saturday night, and I was just like on edge. I was like, oh my gosh. And everyone's questioning everything.
I'm raising my hand because, I don't pretend to know it all. So if I got a question, I ain't got no problem asking it. I've seen A24 before.
Mm-hmm.
What does A24 mean?
I don't know what it actually means. That's
okay.
a question for the internet.
Because I've actually seen that. So please
But
text in.
A24 is a production company, and
the production company. Okay,
yes.
okay.
And the type of films that A24 makes, they made movies like The Lobster, if you've heard of that. Movies that are like a little bit more on the unusual side.
Okay. What's it?
Right.
Yeah, what's
it's an American independent entertainment company specializing in film and TV production.
But Zendaya and Robert Pattinson, like, they acted out in this film. They did a great job. So,
all right, what you got next?
Okay, I'm switching gears a little bit here, but forever we've heard the expression dance like no one is watching.
Oh.
But is that fair anymore to say, especially to children, in this era where phones are everywhere, cameras are everywhere, and in theory, everyone is watching? A writer in The Cut was kind of going through this idea of, with children, should we teach our children not to fear being seen? Because more than ever, this concept of being perceived is very prevalent in our society. However, you can't avoid it. Phones are everywhere. So what do you think? Do you think we should teach kids to be more aware, or let it go and dance like no one's watching?
Let it go and dance like no one's watching.
For sure.
Many of you are holding yourself back because you're afraid of what other people think. And you have no idea about their insecurity. So the same person, so you're sitting there, you're like, oh, I want to do this on my phone. I got a message that I want to say. You don't want to do it because you're worried about that person that's over there that's kind of watching you. You have no idea what's going on in their life. Do it. Don't worry about what nobody says and does.
Even if they're secretly videotaping you from a corner.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, that's the main difference. I mean, everything you do is being watched, right?
I agree. I agree with you. And too much of my life has been worried about, too much time has been wasted worrying about what other people think. And I envy those. I saw a video recently where a woman was just dancing and shaking on the treadmill, and she was just marching. She was just dancing away. And it was like, that's exactly what you need to do. Just let it loose.
Sure. But do you think she's like not mortified that video's on the internet?
I say, people are praising her. I say, go for it.
I'll say this. Every time that you guys have been out and about, and maybe it's you, maybe you're that couple, but I want to give a special shout out to the couples that go out there on the dance floor first. They're the first ones out there. And when I see you, I got so much respect and love for you. And let me raise my hand. Am I first? No. No.
I've been first. I'm not a good dancer.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody who do first. All right. Text message feedback, and then we'll have words to live by.
local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO News Radio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app.
Not sure how to tackle your taxes? Are you sweating the small print? You may be experiencing FOMO, the fear of messing up. The answer? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it. With a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. It's time to take your taxes to the max. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-290-7100. That's 800-290-7100.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical, there's no beating CM Heating.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
Hey, I want to tell you a sellwithwes.com success story. Wes Jones knows how important your home sale can be for your future plans. So when he got a call from Susan in Federal Way, he was eager to step up and help her sell her home of 25 years.
Her house was her biggest asset, and this home sale was super meaningful for her. So she's like, I know that I'm leaving money on the table in the condition that it's in. Like, what can we do?
I told him up front that I did not have the time or finances to do what needed to be done. And he immediately jumped in with, well, I do.
He told her about their Listing Boost concierge service.
We identified probably 4 or 5 major things.
It just was all so fast. They did everything.
I'm a son of a builder, and I've done a lot of flips over the years. So this is work that we actually like to do. We are seeking this out.
And I would just tell anybody, here's his phone number, give him a call. He'll take care of it.
So if you're in the market to sell your home, do what Susan did. Check out Wes Jones and his team at sellwithwes.com. Sell with Wes, a better way to sell your home.
Owie, wowie.
What's with the
water heater's worn out?
Way less hot water?
Takes a lot longer, too.
Sounds like a goner.
Worst of all,
what?
Wasn't planning on it.
We can help.
Apollo Plumbing.
Ready right now to get you
in hot water.
Same day.
Not this day. My budget.
How about with easy payments?
How much easy?
Around $50 a month with approved credit.
A new water heater?
50 gallons of 100% hot water delight.
For about $50 a month.
51, 52 to be precise.
And you can do it
today, if that's what you need.
Is it ever?
Apollo installs new ones with code upgrades.
Can't beat that.
Actually, I can.
What?
Your same-day water heater replacement includes Wrenchy's worry-free warranty.
Which means?
Apollo Plumbing covers your new water heater for life.
You mean should it ever wear out?
Apollo Plumbing replaces it free.
And if it needs service?
Service is included for our A-list members.
Wow! now.
Your new water heater is ready
Right now.
at ApolloPlumbing.com.
D.R. Horton's National Red Tag Sales Event starts this Friday, April 10th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Sully here. I help commuters get around, and you know the key to a good commute? A good running vehicle. That means regular service and proper repairs. For this, I recommend Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. For over 50 years, Bucky's has been trusted for honest diagnostics, quality work, and fair prices. Whether it's factory scheduled maintenance, an oil change, new brakes, or a check engine light, don't guess. Visit one of Bucky's 16 family-owned locations or buckys.com. That's buckys.com.
It's Gee and Ursula, everybody. Appreciate all of you for hanging out with us. It's now time for the good old text messages. Ursula?
On sports gambling, which we went into depth in our 9:30 segment, Jeff in Bonnie Lake says, the last time we tried to legalize gambling statewide, I had a conversation with a supporter, and he believed gambling was a personal choice and didn't acknowledge the addiction side. He opposed the whole idea of nanny state. Same mentality keeps us from trying to create treatment for both gambling and drugs.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to jump down because I'm going to provide some context on this. Kate in Auburn said gambling online is such a big thing that they talked about it on Abbott Elementary a couple episodes. Now, I don't know if you know what Abbott Elementary is. It is a TV show written and starring Quinta Brunson, which is focused on the lives of teachers in schools. And they really try to address modern issues in schools or things that are happening with children. It's a sitcom. It's a comedy, but they are very much on the nose. And so Kate in Auburn said that they talked about it in Abbott Elementary with one of the characters, one of the children, getting addicted to trading. So that's kind of interesting to see that it's even being addressed in our media.
If you think about it, kids get addicted to, you know how when you go to the arcade and you get those tickets and you trade in the tickets to, some of that stuff starts really early.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh, yeah, Chuck E. Cheese, exactly. Tita in the 206 says, my daughter is in 12th grade. We moved to the Tulalip Reservation when she was about to start 9th and attended the welcome fair that summer before school started, and we couldn't believe it. They had tables with information, brochures, magnets for help with gambling addiction, and of course also with drugs and alcohol. It was a lot. So we asked one of the leaders, and they told us that the gambling addiction is huge, and it starts, at least around here, in middle and high school.
Now I saw that message, and I want to ask folks that are listening right now to be honest. Do you guys believe that? Do you guys think that an addiction can potentially start in middle school?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, wow. There are just people who have addictive personality.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And it starts with one thing. It just kind of creeps and moves on to the next and the next and the next. Absolutely. On President Trump's press conference, Tyson in the 808 says they're keeping the focus on the rescue because they have to distract us from the fact that they have no real plan in this conflict, let alone any exit strategy.
Yeah, and we got another text that said, with all respect to the pilot recovery news conference, the briefings need to leave all mentions of tactics used out of the briefing. This just informs the enemy of how we did things.
Yeah, because Donald Trump said rescue missions are safer at night.
Yep. Let's go to the sunshine?
Yes.
Yeah, let's talk about the sunshine. Donna in Seattle said, I always feel the pressure to go out when it's sunny. I'm from the South, so it was sunny so much of the time there that I never had this anxiety when I lived there.
Yes. And I'd ask the question because I feel it. Whenever it's a sunny day, I feel like if I don't go out and spend at least a few hours outside, I am wasting this beautiful day.
Yeah, Lillian's like that.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't get it. I don't care if it's sunny.
Oh, man.
You sit here and
I need it.
I relate to Donna, too. I'm like, being from a state where you have sun, you're like, now it's like refueling the vitamin D in my skin.
Yes. Roger in the UP says, I definitely feel that way. Already did my first workout of the day this morning. Did it outside because the sun kept whispering my name.
On sleep culture, Terry in Black Diamond said, I have definitely seen a cultural shift concerning sleep. I used to work with a guy who bragged that he had trained himself to get by on 4 hours of sleep at night. I remember thinking, oh, so you're always sleep deprived. But that was the culture 20 years ago, so I didn't say anything.
Yep. I mean, we had a quarterback that used to say, team no sleep.
Ooh.
Sleep is for the weak.
And that was,
I don't remember who it was.
Was that the one who was doing stretches on the plane and stuff?
Oh, yeah. He went to another team. He was doing that one.
Oh, yeah. Let him ride. Okay. On Dancing Like No One Is Watching, Bubba in the 360 says, dance like no one's watching, speak like everyone is listening.
That's almost like a word to live by.
I just want to just say this. I don't know if I've ever said it before. If they call you Bubba, I've never met an uncool Bubba.
It's so true. Fact. I want to meet
Bubba. If you're a Bubba, you're an awesome person.
Tina and Sumner said, I have been the only person on the dance floor. I've always said the dance floor is the only place where I don't care what others think.
And I respect you for that so much.
Yep.
Paul in the 253 says, so what song is it that gets you all on the dance floor? I've got one for sure. But Nick is the best one to answer this one. But for sure for me, Dancing Queen.
Oh, classic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
Anything Bee Gees or Shake It Groove Bang.
Yes.
That's one of my favorites.
YMCA.
I don't like that one.
I like all the 2010 songs, Time of Your Lives, Neo, Pitbull. That's going to get me out there.
Oh, there you go.
Ursula, it's time for Words to Live By.
Well, I'm just going to piggyback on Dance Like Nobody's Watching, Love Like You've Never Been Hurt, Sing Like Nobody's Listening, and Live Like It Is Heaven on Earth. Choose joy.
Come on. That phrase is going to carry us.
It's going to carry us in 2026.
Yes.
That's our mantra.
Yes.
What do you got there, Nick?
Well, I know today we had nothing but veggies on our plate without any sort of flavor and our servings raw and straight. But the silver lining locally is catching all the rays and enjoying the peaking sun that's also speaking out today. So go and do your thing, whether it's lounging or a walk, and don't be afraid to dance in front of others on your block, because when you choose joy like we do, there's no reason to hold yourself back. So go out there and do your thing.
Good one.
I love it. See, this is a great song.
This song will get you on the dance floor right here.
It's got a boogie to it.
Immediately, we all started shaking our shoulders.
All right. Great show today. Thank you, Ursula.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Are you with us again tomorrow, Sophia?
I'm with you again.
Would always say, Nick, appreciate you, man.
You too, man.
Hey, the Jake and Spike show to come in next. Ursula, you gonna say something?
Well, yeah, I just wanted to say, because we've been getting questions about Chef and his return. We don't know a return date, but he is expected to return, and we send our love to him. And he just wants everybody to know that he's doing well, and he looks forward to his return.
Good stuff. Hey, the Jake and Spike show, they're coming in next. Make sure you stick around. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you have as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
Congratulations to KIRO News Radio's Charlie Harger and digital content producer Patrick Janasek, nominated for a Northwest Emmy Award for investigative reporting.
It began with a question from the community. It seemed almost too stunning to be true.
KIRO News Radio is honored to be the only radio station nominated for the prestigious Emmy Award as part of our commitment to impactful storytelling across every platform, reaching into the communities we serve. On KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
The brain fog, the exhaustion, the feeling like you've lost yourself. You're not imagining it. Hey, it's Amanda Factor. At Juvacor Health and Wellness Center, hormone replacement therapy is personal, face-to-face with female providers who listen, relate, and who have specialized in this for years. Your treatment is driven by labs and built around you. Dr. Lucy Hostetter and her team have expanded from the flagship location, Seattle Regenerative Medicine Center in Bellevue, to Juvacor Health and Wellness Center in Tacoma. JuvacorHealth.com. Feel like yourself again.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are you stuck staring at your W-2? Are tax refund worries holding you back? You probably have FOMO, the fear of messing up. The fix? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. It's time to overcome your fear of messing up and get your taxes done right. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
The Gee and Ursula Show.
There's two types of people. One's that use a washcloth. The other are bare hand bandits.
Hate to break it to you, but
Ursula, you a bare hand bandit?
Weekdays 9 to noon. Watch live on YouTube.
At EasyCater, we believe every workday gets better with great food. Like that morning status meeting. Always better with bagels. And don't forget the coffee. Ops team working late? How about some Power Bowls to keep them going strong? Sandy's celebrating 10 years at the company. This calls for cupcakes. With EasyCater, you get a huge variety of favorite restaurants with tools to help meet dietary needs and stay on budget, all on one platform. So make every workday better with EasyCater. Start an order at easycater.com.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction or your money back. File today the easy way in the Credit Karma app.
So we're on for tonight? It's game time. I'm expecting you to bring your A game and the nachos.
I'll be honest, I don't think I can go big every game. That's a lot of cheddar.
Come on, the playoffs only happen once a year. You got the Upside app, right? It's free cash back on gas, groceries, dining out, all of it.
Yeah, I use it sometimes for gas.
You got to step up your game. You can get cash back on your groceries too. Not just gas.
So I've been missing out.
Big time. I got Upside helping me a lot. So are you in?
Yeah, checking Upside. I think I can spring for the good guacamole.
Get ready for game day. Download Upside and use promo code RIM to earn an extra $5 cash back on your first purchase. That's promo code RIM for an extra $5 cash back. Remember